the mother of all talk shows with George Galloway on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
One man's ending is another man's beginning. One door opens, another closes, and all that. And you've got the treat of flipping Kath and the great Iain Lee coming up next.
Bless
Iain.
you, George. I feel weird. This is the new, for those going, well, hang on a minute. This is still George's time. What's this idiot doing? We switch off at 10. It's new company policy. Neither George nor I have gone, hey, let me come in at the end of your show and do a song. It's what we have to do. We are contractually obliged.
We've even got to drink our tea out of a Talk Radio mug.
Hey, look at that. That's outrageous.
Yeah. My Yorkshire tea mug, which I loved for all these years, has been confiscated.
Did they not let you, really?
No, it's confiscated.
This is incredible.
Yep.
But shame on you for getting sucked into the corporate bullshine. You should be sticking two fingers up at the man, George. That's what I expect.
Maybe a paper cup, yeah.
There we go. You're right. How's it going?
So, what have you got? Yeah, I'm fine.
Do you know, I don't know. It's Friday. I've left my bit of paper next door. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling a bit weird this week, John. I'm not feeling very well. So we'll just see what happens. And, you know, it's Friday. Let's open the phone lines. It's been a snow day, so everyone, I think, is feeling a bit discombobulated.
I'm driving to Manchester first thing in the morning.
Oh, mate.
Just before the sun comes up, and I'm worried about the roads.
What's the forecast for tonight?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's mainly, the bad weather is mainly in the east and in the southwest. Yeah. So there's a lot of people getting it bad tonight.
Yeah.
But luckily, M1, M6 should be okay.
Well, the motorways will be fine. It's when you come off there. Just go slow. Driving home, I live near Aylesbury now, and driving there, 50-mile-an-hour roads down, you have to drive at 20, you know, and even then it was still skidding all over the place.
So you're just going to be free-form tonight. That's when you're at your best, you know.
Thank you, George. I appreciate that.
And all you need is the right caller to set you off.
And we're gone. And I need Kath to rein in her sarcasm. She's been a little bit rude this week. So, yeah.
Naughty.
Outrageous behaviour.
But she is terrific.
She's
wonderful. I mean, it's a
I
great double act, and it's all yours coming up right after this.
Talk Radio. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Where the hell is Boyley gone? Good evening, dear listener. Late Night Alternative, Friday night. Iain Lee, Catherine Boyle. I know exactly where she's getting refreshments. She's getting refreshments, and I kind of would like her. You can call in if you want. 03-444-991-1000. I want to play a song, but I'm not 100% sure. No, I am 100% sure what song I want to play, but I want Boyley to hear it. All right, mate. Yeah. So I'm listening to this podcast that I quite like because I finished the Chris Warburton Wake Up to Waco podcast.
Thing, isn't it?
Man alive. Honestly, he's coming on hopefully next week, maybe the week after, because next week we've got quite a few guests. Chris Warburton from 5 Live, and it's a podcast made by 5 Live about Waco, but it's about the 29 British people that went to Waco, 26 of whom I think died. I think 3 survived, I think. So it's only 8 episodes. It's about 4 hours. I thoroughly recommend doing your homework this weekend and listening to it. It's great. It's great. It's kind of got a slight John Ronson-y type vibe to it. Is that kind of you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Storytelling,
and it tells you a story that you haven't heard before, which is about how the people that ended up there were not all whack jobs.
Yeah,
they were loved.
They weren't
whack jobs. They were loved members of families. They were sisters. They were brothers. They were people whose. I mean, one of them, one of the heroes of it, the dad who goes over and tries to get his kids to come home.
He goes over to get his daughter to come home. Spoiler alert. And she won't. So he goes back home, and then, like, about a month later, his wife calls him upstairs and says, yeah, me and the other 2 kids are going out there.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, to join. Sorry, what? It's incredible. Really good podcast. So that has finished. There's no new Tim Heidecker office hours. There's no new Clones cast.
Keaton the girl had the day off.
Yes, well, they've got. I'm having the life off of those losers.
Oh.
Scumbags. So there's a podcast I've been kind of dipping in and out of called Cocaine and Rhinestones, and it's about country music, right? It's a little bit dry for me. It's a little bit dry.
I've been listening to an absolute belter.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Finding Cleo.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
Oh, this sounds horrendous. You were telling me about this the other day. Go on.
It does sound horrendous, but actually it's really uplifting as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Canada, 1960s and slightly before, there was a kind of concerted effort to get native Canadian, First Nation, what they were calling back then Indians, off the reservations and into quote-unquote nice white families. And this podcast focuses on one family in particular where I think there are 6 kids. They all get put with different families. And one of them goes missing.
Nope.
And it's what happened to her. And it's the kids end up sort of 40 years on trying to find out what happened to their sister.
Any good podcast recommendations, by the way, that aren't just, 3 crazy guys shouting at each other? Jeez, they've got a point to them. Anyway, so I'm listening to this cocaine. That sounds good, and I will check that out.
It's brilliant.
I'm listening to this Cocaine and Rhinestones, and I'm being very selective about the episodes because a lot of them are about like old country from sort of the 40s and 50s that don't really interest me. But so I'm listening to one today about Bobby Gentry.
Right.
And don't really know much about Bobby Gentry. I know she did an album with Glenn Campbell. Of course, the Billy Joe... What's that song called?
Ballad of Billy Joe.
Ballad, you know that one?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That's a song. But then he goes on to talk about her second album. And the guy doing it says, it's 1968. It's like... Sergeant Pepper, if Sergeant Pepper fought for the Confederacy, then this is what that album would sound like. And they go and play some little snippets.
Gosh.
From it, right? And it is it's the weirdest sound ever. It's like, again, he describes it like as if Broadway, he said it's not country, but as if Broadway were doing a pastiche of psychedelic country, then this is what the album sounds like. It's weird. So I'm going to play a song from... is it called Delta Suite? It's called The Delta Suite by Bobby Gentry. It's a song called Reunion, right? This song is insane. And it's Bobby Gentry. So this is the opening of the show. 0344 499 1000. Mark, you'll be the first call. Have a little listen to this. Turn these microphones off, please, Matthew.
Mama, can I hunt? Mama, can I hunt? Can I, mama, won't you please let me? Mama, can I hunt? That's the sweetest little dress, Sally. Where'd you get the pattern? Made me one just like it out of yellow dotted Swiss. Yes, I guess we got the earliest garden in the county. Been eating strawberries all week, snapping green beans. Too bad about your boy. Mama, make Willie quit pulling at my hair. Mama, ouch, ouch. Mama, just make Willie quit it.
Tommy, if you don't put down that stick, I'm gonna wear you out with it, boy. Be quick.
Come quick, Sammy Jean stuck a finger in a Coke bottle. Can't get it out cause it's stuck.
Now, I told you my mama didn't raise no fool. I can do anything if I got the right tool.
Mama, can I hunt? Mama, can I hunt? Can I, mama, won't you please let me? Mama, can I hunt?
The crop's been failing, Lord, it sure is dry. You'd think that they'd get a sprinkle by and by.
Gonna tear you up, girl, gonna get a switch. Better tell your cousin that you're sorry that you hit her.
If I told you once, it's been 1,000 times. We'd ask your uncles for nickels and dimes.
Mama, make Willie quit pulling that hair. Mama, just make Willie quit it.
I told you my mama didn't raise no fools. I can do anything if I got the right tool.
Did it again, put a finger in a Coke bottle. Can't get it out cause it's stuck.
All right, head cool, that's all you had. You fix it right up with a job excel.
It's the first time ever that the family's been together. It's so nice that we all get along so well.
He's got the money. You think he'd try to do something for his mama before she died.
Now I don't mean to criticize your cooking, no I don't. But I think that you could add a little bit of pepper.
I told you my mama didn't raise no fool. I could do anything if I got the right tool.
Mama, make Willie quit. Pulling at my hair, mama. Mama, just make Willie quit.
Why, yes, I guess. And don't you look nice in your Sunday dress?
Doesn't Sally look tacky in a silly little dress? You can see that she just doesn't know no better.
Rosalie go off to Memphis by herself.
Mama, can I hunt? Mama, can I hunt? Mama, won't you please let me? Mama, can I hunt?
Isn't that nuts? It's nuts, isn't it? Bobby Gentry, it's her second album, huge hit, Ode to Billy Joe. It's not the Beatles off #1 in the States. And then she comes out with this experimental album. Now, here's the thing. Mark, I will come to you, I promise. And here's the thing, and it took me along a little tiny train of thought, right? First of all, that's nuts, but I think it's brilliant. I don't know what it is, but I think it's brilliant, and it's insane. The brass is what does it for me. And I was thinking, part of the reason why it's so nuts, right, is because it's a woman doing it. Now, if we're all used to, like, blokes, Beatles being the prime example, doing slightly out there. I mean, that's not the weirdest bit. It's not the weirdest song I've ever heard by a long way, right? But it's out there. It's a bit out there. But we're all used to men doing slightly out there songs. You know, the Beatles start off as a pop group, and then they end up doing "I Am the Walrus" and stuff like that. Well, and no one really blinks bats an eyelid at it.
Yeah. Also, let's think about the massive, long, indulgent drum or guitar solos.
Yeah.
That's bloke's work, isn't it?
And it got me thinking, right, that this is down to one of two or both reasons, right? I couldn't think off the top of my head, and if I were to sit and think about it, I could a bit. But I can't think of any women, certainly can't think of very many female groups, but I can't think of any women, Joni Mitchell, maybe, it's kind of more jazz, but that have had like a nice little pop career and then gone into avant-garde, and not only then gone into avant-garde, I'm going to give it two factors, have gone into avant-garde slightly like that, but then been applauded for it as well.
Kate Bush, Tori Amos.
Kate Bush and Tori Amos, boom, OK, we've got two.
But they always started out, they always a certain way, but they have been lauded for being kind of eccentrics. Are they eccentrics? No.
Tori Amos hasn't, though. Tori Amos has to a certain extent, but she's always been classed as a Kate Bush rip-off.
Yeah, a bit.
So
she's unfair.
So you can't have two women at the piano because you're. But yet, you know, I was about to say Gary Barlow hasn't been labelled as an Elton John ripoff. Actually, he has. But you get men at pianos, and it's not. Yeah. Oh, it's just an Elton John ripoff.
Yeah.
You know,
Billy Joel.
So Billy Joel's playing Wembley Stadium. I'm sure, like 8 years ago, Billy Joel was playing the Hammersmith Odeon. I'm sure he was.
Here's another thing. I like Billy Joel.
I love Billy Joel. I'm not going to go to Wembley Stadium to see him or The Who. Sorry, guys. You just lost a ticket.
I'm sure they got it.
Am I right? Was Billy Joel playing Hammersmith Odeon about 8 years ago? I saw it and thought, I should buy a ticket for that, but I don't really like Billy Joel enough. But Billy Joel at Hammersmith Odeon? Anyway, 0344 499 1000. Go on.
Dusty Springfield a bit?
No. Not avant-garde. No. With what?
Well, the stuff she did, right, because she was very white bread for a long time, right?
And she went a bit black.
No,
by going to Memphis. No, but she went to Memphis and used the kind of the black musicians.
Which was extraordinary for them.
Yeah.
And then the stuff with the Pet Shop Boys. So kind of, that's experimental for those, for the very neat box she was in.
OK, but interesting that it had to be facilitated by two men.
Yeah, true. Not
done as an independent venture. Whereas, from what I gather, Bobby Gentry did this. The second album, first song was a huge surprise hit that no one expected. I might play it later on because it's such a weird song, man. That suddenly she's given quite a lot of money and creative control over an album that turned out to be a flop. The second one, but I'm going to get a copy of it. And then it got me thinking, right? And we were talking about classical music the other day. Why are there no... And I'm sure we can come up with a couple of legitimate reasons. But why are there no famous female women composers? Right, if you're into the world of classical music, there probably are, right? But you say classical composers, you think Beethoven, Chopin, Brahms, the Vaughan Williams, Haydn, all these people. You don't instantly name women. And I guess it's partly because women were probably not afforded the same opportunities to go to music school or, No,
because Mozart's sister before him, she was a child prodigy too.
Right.
She was wonderful, but she got to a certain age where it was decided that she'd be better off getting married off to someone rich because that was no way for a woman to live.
There you go, you see.
Right.
So I guess there's that. But then I guess maybe, like, at the same time as Beethoven, there was a woman doing it as well who was coming up with songs.
Tunes.
Banging out a few tunes on the old Joanna that were as good, if not better, than Beethoven's, but society, history, in its very, written by men, that just kind of got ignored or forgotten about. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just struck me as very odd. The two thoughts that I can't think of any female pop stars, you've come up with a couple, that did some pop songs and then went, you know what, I'm going to chance my arm and do something a little bit out there.
Well, I was just thinking, Madonna. It got crackers for a while.
It got very sexual.
Mm-hmm.
But where did it get crackers? I don't know her catalogue well enough to up a robust
it did.
development.
It did.
Argument.
So she did the kind of pop princess thing for a while. And then, it got very sexual. But that, again, you've got to remember, we're used to it now. I mean, I've seen virtually all of Rihanna, apart from the X-rays. But Madonna was the first one to start doing that.
Sally suggests two, one of which I will half buy. She says Yoko Ono. I'm not buying that because she never started out as a pop star. She was always a performance artist. Bjork, but the Sugar Cubes was the band she was in.
The popularity thing was accidental, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. But Bjork, I'll give you Bjork.
Yeah.
I'll give you Bjork. I will give you Bjork. I will not accept an Ono in this list. So there's that, and there's also, and if you are schooled in classical music, I'd love to know, are there no women classical composers, or is there like a whole secret history of them that we don't know about? It just struck me as odd. Oh, it's all blokes. Of course it's all blokes, but history is all blokes. We know that. But it just struck me that...
I am guessing that the sort of woman who would have been capable of that was probably restricted by society in how much leisure time she was allowed to give to it.
That's what I would think. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Mark, stay there. You're going to be... I swear to God, Mark, we're coming to you straight after this break. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
499 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Mark.
Hello.
Hello, Mark. What can we do for you this evening?
2 questions for you.
OK, and you may get 2 answers. You may get less, you may even get more. Let's see what happens.
So, what was the newsreader at the top of the hour called?
David Dom.
See, when he said it, I thought he said David Dumb.
He does sound like he's saying David Dong, because he's got an accent.
I think he sounds like David Dong.
Oh, Catherine.
No, I thought it was Dong first.
That's beneath you.
It's not the lad from Bolton.
He's still got an accent.
David Dom, he's not got an accent.
He's got an accent?
No, he hasn't.
He's got an accent?
Nah.
Yes, he has.
No.
He
has got a bit of an accent.
He's got an accent, Mark.
Well, he has compared to you.
Well, where is he from?
He's southern.
He's just southern? Imagine if someone asked me, where's Catherine? I went, she's just northern.
You do say that.
No, I don't. I say you're a Manchester.
And
you're
then you do the voice.
You're a Manchester lass. Dad used to play bass in the Soap Dragons.
No, he never.
Aye. And Ma, you know the song All Together Now by The Farm? That's about Ma. Peter Houghton from The Farm used to call Ma. There's rumours that Peter Houghton from The Farm might be her dad.
That's not true. But my dad did go to the same school as Hookie and, the others from New Order.
Bernard Sumner.
Yeah, Bernard Sumner.
Yeah. And the other lad.
And Albert Finney.
Albert Finney was not in New Order. What a stupid thing to say.
He would have been.
Question number 1 has been answered, Mark. And you've got plenty of informaziano. I'm looking forward to the second one.
So, I've been asked to do a little online radio show, which I used to do when I was younger.
Okay.
What would be your, top tip of being a radio presenter?
I don't know. Okay. No,
how'd you be a radio presenter, Iain?
I'm not going to give a flippant answer. I'm going to give a serious answer.
I've got an answer.
Go on.
Don't try and be a radio presenter.
That is what I was thinking.
Yeah, because people that are trying to be radio presenters sound awful.
No, and I also don't like to read scripts.
Boom.
Right, here's the thing.
Write yourself some bullet points.
Here's the thing. Have you been given... forget bullet points. They're for losers. Have you been given...
You've got bullet points.
Those aren't bullet points.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
There's a dash next to some words.
They're not bullet points.
They're totally bullet points.
They're reminders.
OK, well, call it what you want, but you're writing those down.
Yeah, they're not bullet points. They're reminders, and I will read them to you. Travelling tips, Patty Hearst. This is the show, right? This is the show.
They sound like bullet points to me, Mark. I don't know about you. He's got a little dash next to each one.
This is the show. Travelling tips, Patty Hearst, Jeremy Hardy, Snow Day, Gentleman's Guilt, and No Female Composers. What a show!
You could put a bullet point in front of them, and they're like, things what you're going to talk about.
It's not bullet points.
Totally bullet points.
They're not bullet points.
You've just done bullet points.
I don't think you know what bullet points are.
Okay, you're going to explain bullet points.
No, I'm
to
not
me
going
now,
to because you won't listen to me. You've got your own fixed agenda. You're like the Ramonas. You've got your own fixed agenda. By the way,
like the Ramonas, right?
By the way, I just came up with an idea for a band. It's called the Ramonas, right?
It's like the Ramones.
Shut up! I'm doing the joke. I just made it up. And basically, they play songs about leave. They play songs about wanting to stay in Europe, but they all last about 90 seconds long, and they're very fast.
Well,
good one, mate.
I wish I was.
I'm not shaking that hand because that hand is. Mark, you have really, really put a cat in a hornet's nest tonight with your questions.
And I've got one more.
You said there were two.
I wrote it
well,
down.
I've just seen something on Twitter.
No, sorry, Mark. You said two. We have to take your first answer. That was two. You can call in again if you want to ask the third one, but that's your problem. 03444991000. Good evening, David.
Hey, mate. You all right, Ian?
That's none of your business.
Yeah. That's all right. It's not. I was just tweeting about women and no composers.
Yeah.
I think that women have been suppressed over the years. I think even today. They're still being suppressed. Like the word "woman's" been trying to be took over by WOMX, and I think transgenders are trying to take over the role of women.
Oh, don't talk balls.
Hang on, let's address you spouted two massive piles of bullshit there. Let's pick. I pick pile number one. What is this WOMX?
Yeah.
What is that?
WOMX.
Yes, yes, I can spell it. What is it? I've not heard of it.
It's what we've tried changing the word "woman" to in some universities.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No one's trying to change the word "woman" to "womx." Trust me. And guess what? You can still say Christmas in Birmingham.
Can you?
Yes, you can say Christmas in Birmingham.
Right, I never knew that.
Yeah, you can. Despite what you might have read.
I know you can. I'm not a racist or nothing.
I didn't say you were racist. Why did you bring that? Why did you bring racism up? I didn't say you were racist.
You said you could still say Christmas in Birmingham. Why would you say that?
Because you're obviously reading a headline in a newspaper that's complete nonsense and believing it.
No.
Sorry. Okay, you've been to these universities. Which universities did you go to, and how did they explain it to you?
It's common knowledge, Ian.
No, it's not. It's literally not common knowledge.
Well, you can look it up and
No, I'm not going to. You
will find it. Ian.
No, I won't. You tell me where you found it. Because I know quite a lot of common knowledge, and I've not heard this rubbish before. So where did you find it?
Ian, I've seen it on the actual news.
On the actual news? Which news?
Yeah.
Which news?
Well, I don't know. I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
It was months ago. Yeah.
You what channel? What website? What news source?
Pardon?
What news source did you get this from?
I don't know. I think it might have been Sky, actually.
Right. Okay. And what was the story?
It was just transgenders in.
So it's so the WOMX is connected with transgenders.
Yeah.
You didn't say that. Okay. So give us the story. Go on. This is going to be fun. Go on.
Right, just wanted to change the word "woman," so instead of writing WOMAN, write WOMXN.
And what's wrong with them writing WOMX if they want to label themselves as WOMX?
Because it's stealing the word "woman" from women.
No, it's not. It's not. If someone,
it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
If you listen, if you stop just.
I don't see transgender women trying to say MXN.
Well, because that's
trying to steal.
Because that means the Manchester Arena, and that's stupid. Right. So, what is the problem? If I wanted to label myself WOMX, how would that be stealing the word "woman" away from women?
Because it is. Because it's like.
Don't just say it is. Tell me how.
Kind of abolishing the word "woman."
No.
How is someone labelling themselves with one word abolishing the word "woman"? Are these transgenders, as you call them, are they going around?
As I call them, they are transgenders, aren't they?
Okay, if that's what you call them. Are they going around saying that women aren't allowed to use the term "women"?
Yeah.
You had to think. You had to think about that, almost as if you knew that they weren't, and you had to say yes. Otherwise, your story's got no validity. Validity. They are. So you've literally just remembered that.
Okay. All right. I've got another point. Then.
No. Let's do this first point.
How do you feel about transvestites coming into libraries to read children's books to children?
It was a drag queen.
Without their parents' permission or nothing.
I think. Well, first of all, you don't let kids. You don't. Who let? What? Like 7-year-old kids?
Yeah, 5, 6, 7.
Okay,
yeah.
so their parents would be with them.
No, the parents weren't with them. No.
It
was a school's choice.
Right. Okay. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's wonderful and beautiful, and I'm totally up for it. Next.
Not wonderful. Don't know if
What do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do? Bugger them? What is your problem with it?
No, because we're just trying to rob them every single.
No. Let's go back to no. Let's go back to the word you said. They're just trying to turn them into what? Trannies. Yeah. Gays, trannies, transvestites, transgenders. Yeah. They're trying to turn them gay.
Yes, because their minds are not made up, and they're going to question what they actually are.
David, you're a bigot. You're a homophobe.
I'm not a bigot, actually.
David, you're a bigot.
I actually not.
David, you're a bigot.
I'm not.
You're David.
I'm actually not. And I think you find
David, let me finish, and I'll let you come back because I'm a fair guy,
look,
even to dickheads like you. Shut up! Shut your face! Shut up!
I can turn that child into a racist if I want to.
You cannot change them into a gay.
You can change children into anything you want to.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
You can't, mate.
Young minds are not developed. They can be influenced.
Please let me finish the sentence.
How do you think the Nazis made Nazis? By teaching them.
How did the Nazis make Nancy's, did you say?
Nancy's.
Nancy's. How did the Nazis make Nancy's?
Nazis.
Yeah, how did the Nazis make Nancy's?
Yeah, by teaching them that. They recruited young children and turned them into that.
Right. Here's the thing. Let me tell you something, David. Right. Let me just finish.
If you think young children
David, can I speak? David,
you need
David,
help,
can I speak? Can I speak on my show? Do you mind if I speak on my show? Right.
No.
First of all, you're a bigot. You're a homophobe.
I'm not a bigot. I'm not a homophobe.
And you're one of the thickest people I've ever met.
I don't know.
Please let me finish, David. I've let you spout your bollocks. Let me spout mine. Okay. Let me give you some facts. Right. You're one of the.
Call what you're saying bollocks, but you're calling it mine.
You can come back and say it afterwards, but I had the manners to listen to you absolutely puking out your mouth hole. So let me give you some facts, right? Okay, you are, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the thickest people I've ever spoken to. I've spoken. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Where are you getting your facts from?
The fact that you think that by having a drag queen go and read to 5-year-olds, it's going to turn them gay.
Yeah.
Right, that is one of the.
Why would you want to
please have
children to
I
that
tell you
really?
what, I wouldn't let you. I wouldn't let you go near my children because they'll learn ill manners off of you. You're one of the rudest people I've ever spoken to. Let me finish. Jesus, you're thick and rude.
I'm not thick and rude.
You're thick and you're rude.
There's only one person being rude, and that's you.
No, it's you. You won't let me finish. You won't let me finish.
I haven't called you anything. I haven't called you thick. You're full of shit.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
You have to me.
Can I finish?
Who's rude, me or you?
You, because you won't let me finish.
Not because I won't let you finish. You're being rude.
Yeah, but I'm being rude because you're a homophobe, a bigot, and a nasty piece of work. Yes, you are.
I don't mind gay people, not at all.
Just as long as they don't come anywhere near you, in case you turn gay.
Children being influenced by
Mate, you cannot make a gay child by showing him a man in a dress.
Oh, yes, you can.
Oh, no, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Did you go gay when you went to a pantomime as a kid?
I didn't go to a pantomime.
Well, I think this is the reason we're getting...
That's
this man won't let me speak. Jesus, you are the rudest man I've ever had phone in. Let me speak then, you idiot.
I'm not an idiot either.
Yes, you are, because you think a 5-year-old seeing a man in a dress is going to turn him gay.
Yeah.
You are... Go away. You're
telling them that it's normal, and it's not, is it?
It's what?
It's telling them that that's normal, and it isn't.
Have you never worn a dress?
Do you never ever worn a dress?
Have you ever worn a dress?
That's between me and my missus, thank you.
So you wear a dress in the bedroom with your wife?
I might do.
Okay, right. And are you gay?
No.
Right, well then you're stupid. You're either gay or stupid. Which is it?
Introduced me to that when I was 4 and 5, 6 years old.
Mate,
I might actually question whether I am
people like
or
you.
not.
I thought we were living in a more tolerant, open society, and I cannot wait for. How old are you? 56.
Say to a child, don't think of an orange. What's the first thing you think of?
Yeah, you don't say to a child, don't think of you're an idiot. How old are you? 50,
I'm
56?
not an idiot.
Are you 56?
No.
How old are you?
Why, what's that got to do with it?
Because I cannot wait for your generation to die. I'm hoping,
Really?
I'm praying to God you're older than me. Please be older than me.
Thank you, Ian.
Please be God. Please, for God's sakes.
And you call me rude.
Please, for God's sakes, be older than me. Are you
you
older
call me rude.
Are you older than me?
Ian, I don't think that really matters.
Yes, it does, because I want your generation to go. We've had enough. You ruined it. You screwed the world up. You've got no idea about gender and sexuality. You're thick. You're horrible. You're narrow-minded. I was talking to my kids the other day, right? 8 and 6, right? And they said to me, "Is it true?"
Ian.
Let me finish, David. David, let me finish. Let me finish, because you're spreading hate, I'm spreading love. Let me finish. Let me finish 1 point, please, because you've not let me finish any.
I'm not spreading no hate, actually.
Let me finish 1 point, because you've not let me finish any, okay? Right? I've given you the decency of spouting your vile right-wing, borderline fascistic nonsense, and you won't let me do...
I haven't spouted any hate either, actually.
Okay, can I finish a point, David, or shall we end it here, mate?
Go on.
Right. My 7...
You're just on a Karen abusing me, then you may as well just finish it.
Can I finish a point, David?
Go on.
Right. My kids, when they were 8 and 6, said to me, with smirking, "Is it true that a man can become a woman?"
And you'd say yes.
Please let me finish the story, David, OK? You don't know.
It's not possible, is it?
I
God
said...
makes you a man or a woman.
David,
you can't change and choose.
David, let me finish, please, mate, right? Because you're coming across as rude.
No, really,
you are.
You say that to me after you said you wish all my generation's dead.
Yeah,
you
I do. Can't wait for it. This is
right,
Here we go. He's going to put the phone down. Bottled it. He's gone. What an arsehole. That was David there. So I said to my kids, I said, yes, they can. And it sounds funny, doesn't it? But actually, for the person, you know, that is going through it, it's a really, really big deal. It's stressful. And it's upsetting. And it's very, very confusing. So I get why you're laughing, boys. I get it. They weren't laughing, they were just smirking a bit, because it's funny. Boy becomes a girl. Girl becomes a boy? What? I said, I get why you're laughing, and that's kind of cool, but the thing is, for them to go through that, it's a really confusing, they're not sure what they are or who they are, and you know what, I would say there's probably at least one kid in your class who wants to be either is a boy now and wants to be a girl, or is looks like a girl now and wants to be a boy. And they're like, really? I said, yeah. And I said, we kind of accept people for what they are. We love people for what they are. As long as no one's, causing us any harm, then that's all cool. And, and we certainly don't laugh at people because they're a little bit different to us, or they think slightly different things. I said, we're lucky that we now live in a world where most people, David has broken my heart, David, seriously, you really have, where most people are kind of cool with whatever anyone wants to get up with. You think of all the poor souls who haven't been able to make that transition, who had to live in secret. I mean, David's argument it's not even an argument, it's just bigotry. It's homophobia and it's bigotry and it's transphobia. That seeing a bloke in a dress at the age of 5 is going to turn you gay? Are you not? Because the Nazis converted people into Nazism, that sees it through? Here's the thing, right? If my boys are gay, beautiful, wonderful, I'm going to embrace them and love them. If they're straight, great. If they're bi, whatever they are, beautiful. I've not got a problem with it. But them seeing a man in a dress is going to make them not like boobs and fannies, and they're going to like willies and bums. That's insane. That is insane. And it is very, very much the definition of bigotry, David, is bigotry. And, that's good. If you're cool with it, wear it.
Do you know what else it is?
Yeah.
It's really dangerous.
It is, yeah.
There's a kid in one of my daughter's schools, and she is now a he. And the kids are cool with it.
Yeah.
The teachers are cool with it. There's a letter that went home just to advise of name changes and how, from now on it's he and him rather than... And no one would ever know, right? There are a couple of the mums who've said the most vile stuff to the parents of that child who must have been going through absolute hell. You don't do that on a whim, right? The kid is tiny, right? He is not going to be put on any medication for a long time. It's just really about them being comfortable in their own skin at school. What the hell is wrong with that? The mother has been getting all kinds of crap, including things like, well, maybe if you were a bit more feminine, she would have had a better example. What kind of world do we live in? And these are people our age, Ian. That's the thing that breaks my heart. You can't put it down to being older and not used to it.
Man alive.
It like you say, it's heartbreaking.
David, what? I don't even know why you're listening to. I don't even know why you're listening to this show. That's You know, this show is not for you, man. This is a show about love and inclusivity and embracing everybody, and everybody's welcome, whatever they look like, whatever they got between their legs, whoever they sleep with, you know, whatever they're doing. Everybody's welcome, man. So, David, well, listen, because you know what? Maybe you'll learn. Maybe one day you'll get it, that what you said is unpleasant and is hurtful and is bigoted. And seriously, I'm guessing he's old. I'm hoping he's older than me. And just go. We don't want that. Gosh, what a start to the show. We got another Mark, we got a Ray, and we could have you, dear listener. 03444 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. What a start. It's supposed to be like a nice chilled snow day show. Snow day show day. Instead of dealing with bigots. Thank you, Oliver. I appreciate the textington there. Let's go to Mark. Good evening, Mark.
Hello, it's me again.
Oh.
Just to say to that David, because I'm a gay person.
You dirty pervert. How dare you wear a dress in front of 5-year-olds?
I'm actually, it's quite funny because I've just told the lad I'm dating, who's actually female to male trans.
Okay, yeah.
And he's flicking his lid at the moment about it. It's so stupid. I was sat here listening thinking, what is he talking about? And when you said about that generation, when that generation have gone, this world will be a better place.
Yeah.
You still there?
Yeah, I thought I was waiting for you to finish the sentence.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's just a
well, I don't. Do you know what? I don't know if it will be a better place. Because I live in, I work in a safe London liberal elite bubble where being gay has been all right for like the last 30 years, as far as I'm concerned.
But do you remember when we did that experiment in Luton?
Oh yeah.
We did an experiment because we had someone ring up to say that he'd been threatened because he held hands with. Oh no, because he was talking to his boyfriend on the phone on a train, and this guy followed him and abused him. And they were talking about how you can't walk down the street holding your partner's hand in some places. In some places, you can, and you don't get anything. So we did this experiment. Iain and another male colleague walked through the streets of Luton holding hands, right? And we filmed them.
Well, it was a bit dicey, mate. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
it really was.
The abuse he got was from a kid, from a 20-something, wasn't it? I was really surprised. Really surprised.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yes.
It's not just the older generation, is it?
No, it's not. Sorry, you're going to have to. We're going to have to make you illegal again, Mark. You're going to have to do it behind closed doors and in woods. And I don't want to know anything about it. All right? It's sad, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
I don't get it. I don't get it. And listen, here's the thing, right? When I was a teenager, I'm going to be honest. I made jokes about being gay and being, I made jokes about that. It could be argued that a TV show, the 11 o'clock show I did, is homophobic. I don't think it was, but we certainly used slang words that I would never use now. But even as a teenager, I never got the problem with it. You fall in love with someone, you fall in love with someone. What's the problem with that? It's love!
I don't understand what makes people so angry about other people's private lives.
It's crazy.
I'm just not that bothered.
One of my close friends, was not a close friend no more, he fell out with me because I'm going out with a transgender person.
Ah, mate, I'm sorry. That's
No, I'm not bothered. It's like, if that's the way that person's going to react, then I don't need that in my life.
Also,
it's very noble of you to say it like that.
What is their thing? That's what I would wonder.
Yeah, well, all he kept saying is, I'm old-fashioned.
All right, that's not a get out, is it?
I'm bigoted. It's bigotry. No, it's bigotry and it's prejudice. Now, here's the thing, right? If you're bigoted and you're prejudiced, I mean, it's not fine, but it's kind of fine. That's the way you are. Here, I remember when we were at Three Counties, and there was a story about two gay men having a baby. And I said, do you know what? First hearing this story, it doesn't feel right to me. But I accepted that was a prejudice. I'm really cool with it now because I examined my prejudice. I was prejudiced in as much as I heard this story and thought, two gay men with a baby, it doesn't feel right. And I acknowledge my prejudice. I said it on air that it made no logical sense whatsoever, which I think is what a prejudice is, kind of dislike, to put it mildly, of something where all the evidence kind of points the other way. And I worked through it, and I kind of did a little bit of thinking and meditating on it, and, it doesn't bother me in the slightest now, as it shouldn't, but... If you are a prejudice, accept it, admit it. If you want to try and work through it, then work through it and make the world a better place. If you want to sit with it, but own it as prejudice.
And don't expect everyone else to like it.
Yeah.
No. Well, but what would your opinion be of two Muslims having a baby?
On two who having a baby? On who? Was he saying two Muslims?
No, lesbians.
Oh, I think it's disgusting. No, here's the thing. Now, honestly, I was prejudiced about it it was about a week, and I just thought about it, and I sat down and I really thought about it, and went through it, and realised that my prejudice was based in nothing apart from a knee-jerk reaction. And now I'm absolutely cool with it. I love it. I think it's great. I want more gay parents. I think it's wonderful. Who cares? Who cares?
See, I used to be quite prejudiced about transgender.
Yeah.
Until I met this individual.
Until you fell in love?
Until he kissed me in a nightclub, and I thought, oh, great, I'm in. And then he texted me the next morning and said, you do realise I'm transgender?
Yeah.
And I thought, shit, excuse me French, but that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then actually we spoke about it all, and now I understand it, and I'm completely cool with
Beautiful. It. Well, then that's it. That's working through a prejudice, and I think it can be done. And we are living examples that it can be done. And you think about it, and you go, well, actually, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that's cool. Well, I hope you're very, very happy, Mark. I hope
that wasn't what I actually rang up for. Again.
For God's sake! Is this the bloody Mark show or something? Crying out loud! Go on, Mark.
I wanted to talk about Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
Catherine will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She retweeted a picture of a fanny pack with Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts USA, right? I've obviously had a lovely...
Pop-Tarts, they're the breakfast biscuit that you put in
that burn your tongue.
Yeah.
because I can never wait long enough. And they're never worth it, are they? It's a nice idea and all that.
I remember when they came out, they're not nice Pop-Tarts.
Oh, no,
but an American had put them in the fanny pack.
Yeah, so this American campaign, let me find it. It made me laugh so much. Hang on, let me find it. So the Americans had obviously had this big marketing meeting. What's going to be in the new tagline, right? And what we're going to do to get viral on social media. So Pop-Tarts US tweeted this. It's a picture of, I think, a woman with it's
a womx. It's a womx.
with a bum bag on, which is not the most extraordinary thing about this campaign, and two Pop-Tarts sticking out, so they don't even fit in a bum bag, to be honest. They're going to go cold. And it said, I like my tarts where I like my money, right in my fanny. I mean, I don't think that even works in America.
No, well, they call it a fanny pack, don't they?
But for God's sake, everyone, don't put them there.
No.
Put them in the toaster.
Mark, have I got permission to cut you off now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Ray. Good evening, Ray.
Good evening. I can only think of one female composer.
Go on.
Anne Dudley.
I don't know. What era? This is classical, I'm assuming.
Oh, well, it's current era, but she's effectively a composer. She composes film scores and TV music. And she was also in The Art of Noise years ago.
Oh, Krypton Factor.
Krypton Factor?
Yeah, Krypton Factor. Art of Noise did the Krypton Factor theme tune. I thought everyone knew that.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Everyone knew that. The Art of Noise did the... Yeah. Well, why this show... it seems to... Every 6 months we seem to do an Art of Noise special. It was that guy who wouldn't accept that the Art of Noise were influenced by Kraftwerk.
Oh, yes, do you remember?
Or it was some argument about the Art of Noise and Kraftwerk. And he was going, well, no, they're completely... wasn't his argument that their ideas were completely self-formed and...
Yeah, completely original thought.
They were basically, the Art of Noise were year zero and were not influenced by anything. And then I found loads of bits of interviews with them saying, well, of course, Kraftwerk were a huge influence on us. All right. Is it? So she's on. If I were writing a list, no,
because she's not.
She's not a composer.
No, well, she is probably a composer. She is a composer, but we're talking about the, you know, the classic
Classicals.
greatest hits type composers?
Was she composing in 1872?
No, but in the last 30 years...
Good evening, Ray. Good evening. Thank you for that. Let's go to Josie. Good evening, Josie.
Hello.
Hello, Josie.
Yeah, I was just ringing up because, like, you know, David said about...
Josie, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something I've never said before, and I hope you don't mind. Could you move your mouth slightly away from the phone, please?
Oh, sorry, I'll tell you what it is.
Go on.
Because I'm quite hard of hearing, I'm sure I've told you before, and I've got, like, headphones in, so I was putting my mouth right near my phone, sorry.
Because normally it's people, they're talking like this, I have to say, get nearer the phone, but it's like the phone is inside you.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I've moved it. Is that better?
No!
Is that better?
No! What is this Listen, we'll work around the hard of hearing thing, I'll just shout, but what is this?
I don't know. That's better. I've got it at arm's length. Is that better?
No.
Ever so slightly. But can you hear us?
I can hear you, yeah.
Well, we can work with that. That's like about 3% better, so we can work with that. Go on.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to do now.
Don't worry, we'll make this work. We can hear you. Go on.
Right, okay. I was just ringing up because when my 17-year-old daughter, when she was 15, she actually came out as a lesbian.
Yeah.
And I was actually accused by one of my family members of turning her into a lesbian by allowing her to wear boys' clothes. She was the age of 3.
What? It's the trousers that did it, is it?
No, this is it. I mean, because right from, you know, she was allowed to choose her own clothes. I've always been like that with my kids, you know, like, wear what you like. She decided she wasn't going to wear girls' clothes. She hated them.
Yeah.
So I allowed her to, you know, and the school didn't have a problem with it. None of her friends had a problem with it. She went all the way through high school. You know, nobody else had a problem with it. But then when she came out and she was like, you know, you could tell all the family, you know, and it was my sister.
Oh, mate.
Actually said, well, you know, you're not born that way. You've made her that way. You've allowed her to do that.
How do you? There's no response to that.
Was that just a stupid knee-jerk, ignorance-laden thing, or did she change her mind, or is she still in that opinion?
Oh no, she's still in that frame of mind.
Wow.
Because I've got, you know, I've got 2 nephews as well that are gay, and she's accusing my sister-in-laws of doing that to them. So it basically it's mothers that allow their children.
Yeah, that's the way it works, isn't it?
So
incredible.
I'm speechless because I'm so. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be surprised. I don't know. Maybe the world sucks more than I thought. But there's no comeback to that, is there? There's no.
No, I haven't told my daughter. I haven't told my daughter that that's how her auntie thinks of her.
Yeah, well done for protecting your little girl. You know.
Yeah, no, I thought I'm not going to tell her.
There's no need.
At the end of the day, you know, she's at college now, and still no one but this one person bats an eyelid.
Yeah.
No, you know, nobody, none at all. You know, and
Can I ask you a question?
You can.
What? Because I got no idea what my boys are going to say to me when they get older, you know, and whatever they say, I'm going to, you know, whatever, they're my boys, whoever. You sleep with whoever you want to sleep, as long as it's consensual and as long as you're being safe, you do what you want to do, guys. I don't care. But we're a little way off having that conversation, you know, if that conversation comes up. Was there, because quite often we have a knee-jerk reaction, which is our original, initial reaction, which is just like the body or the mind just going, oh my God. And then the second thought is always the one I think that generally counts, right? The second thought, when you can think about it. Was there a knee-jerk reaction of when you, Mum, I'm gay? Was there was there a disappointment? Was there a?
No, absolutely
there was
not.
Nothing.
No, I've said to my kids, all I've ever wanted you to be is happy.
There we go.
Did you?
And sorry,
I was going to say, did you already have an inkling anyway?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. So, but I just said to her, you know, as long as you're happy, and you know, maybe none of us care.
And was she? Because I remember growing up watching like Brookside and stuff in the 80s, and there was always a gritty storyline where there was a gay character who was gay and had been gay for like a year, and then they had to go and tell their mum and dad, and it was like a big tonight's episode. They're going to tell their mum and dad they're gay. They're going to come out, and it was a big thing, as I know it was for a lot of gay and bisexual people, you know, throughout history, to go and tell their mum and dad. But I've not. Now we're like in the 21st century. Was she nervous about telling you, do you think?
I think she had to work it out in her own mind first.
Right.
But
so she didn't have any. She didn't. You know, was she? Did she say afterwards? Oh God, I was so nervous about telling you in case you hated me.
No.
Good.
No.
Okay.
She
Well,
knew
that's
she wouldn't
progress.
be hated. No,
Yeah.
she knew she. In fact, I made her laugh because what I did is I had a go at her brother afterwards, and I said, you know, like, you never came out to me as straight.
Yeah, there we go.
So
Yeah,
I said,
This is. Go on.
At least my daughter had the decency to tell me who she liked.
Do you know what? I think that's what I was trying to get to in a ham-fisted way. The fact that it still has to be a. Maybe obviously it wasn't your situation, but can we sit down? I've got something to tell you. By the way, I like, I'm gay and I like it. The fact that it has to be a thing still, that you still have to come out. A phrase coming out. I don't really like it because it should just be. But Mum, can I bring my girlfriend home tonight?
But for a lot of families, it still isn't.
Yeah, of course it is.
There are a lot of people our age who are still, in the closet because they don't want to disappoint their parents, their elderly parents.
Well,
it's a shame.
we both know a gentleman in this industry who won't come out on air because, or won't come out. There's no reason to at all. No one should be forced to. But is actually very protective in case the listeners go off him.
Yeah.
Because of what,
even though he's loved.
Yeah, and I would never say anyone. Whatever you do is private. You don't have to tell people if you don't want to. But I just thought that was quite sad that he was worried about the potential, probably non-existent backlash because of it.
I have had a friend ask me because she said, "Has she had a girlfriend yet?" And I said no. And she said, "Well, can I ask you a question?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "How does she know she's a lesbian then?"
Well,
and I said, "Well, the same reason you knew you fancied boys at 14.
Yeah.
She fancied girls.
Yeah, you know
You didn't have to have a boyfriend to know that you were.
You know what gets you hot. You know what you like looking at more than the other. You know.
This is it, isn't it?
Josie?
Everything's fine apart from this one family member. So.
Josie, you're a good mum, and your kids are very, very lucky to have you as a mum. Thank you for that. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I was born in Chickasaw County. When I was 6, we moved to another region in Mississippi called the Delta. And we lived between two rivers. One was the Yazoo, and the other was the Tallahatchie. It was the 3rd of June, another sleepy, dusty Delta day. I was out chopping cotton and my brother was baling hay. And at dinner time we stopped and walked back to the house to eat. And Mama hollered at the back door, y'all remember to wipe your feet. And then she said, I got some news this morning from Choctaw Ridge. Today, Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. And Papa said to Mama as he passed around the black-eyed peas, oh, Billy Joe never had a lick of sense. Pass the biscuits, please. There's 5 more acres in the lower 40 I got to plant. And Mama said it was a shame about Billy Joe. Seems like nothing ever comes to no good up on Choctaw Ridge. And now Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Brother said he recollected when he and Tom and Billy Joe put a frog down my back at the Carroll County Picture Show. And wasn't I talking to him after church last Sunday night?
saw him at the sawmill yesterday up on Choctaw Ridge. And now you tell me Billy Joe's jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Mama said to me, child, what's happened to your appetite? Well, I've been cooking all morning and you haven't touched a single bite. That nice young preacher, Brother Taylor, dropped by today. Said he'd be pleased to have dinner on Sunday. Oh, by the way, he said he saw a girl that looked a lot like you up on Choctaw Ridge. And she and Billy Joe was throwing something up the Tallahatchie Bridge. A year has come and gone since we heard the news about Billy Joe. Brother married Becky Thompson. They bought a store in Tupelo. There was a virus going round. Papa caught it and he died last spring. And now Mama doesn't seem to want to do much of anything. And me, I spend a lot of time picking flowers up on Choctaw Ridge. Into the muddy water of the Tallahatchie Bridge.
That's some song. It ends a little bit abruptly, that version, but that's some song, isn't it? I mean, she's 25 years old when she wrote that. And it was here's the thing I've learned from this podcast, this Cocaine and Rhinestones podcast. So she recorded that demo, just her playing the guitar, and a load of other songs, and they gave it to the record company. Went, yeah, we'll put this out. This will be the B-side. And they got some guy to put strings on it and do that kind of stuff and nothing else. And they went, man, this is good. This is going to be an A-side. And it was number one in 1968. But a really weird song about suicide.
Yeah, but I always wondered what they were both throwing off the bridge.
It's a MacGuffin.
Is it?
You don't know what a MacGuffin is?
I do.
What is it? Oh, this is unusual.
Like a
I've got the upper hand here.
Okay, a MacGuffin.
Here we go.
There
we go.
There is no explanation.
Well, yeah, it's got a definition as a MacGuffin.
No, but that's what a MacGuffin is. Is that right?
Incorrect answer, Catherine. 5
Go
points
on,
to me. No. Your project.
No, come on.
A MacGuffin is it's
red herring.
No. It's a distraction that's irrelevant. You think it's important, but it's not.
That's what I just said then.
No,
the first one I said it's nothing. There's no explanation for it.
But it's like talking to David. We're completely cross purposes. It's not.
I'm not trying to kill MacGuffins or tell MacGuffins not to go anywhere near my
He
kids.
wasn't trying to kill MacGuffins.
No, he wasn't. But he was trying to stop people becoming MacGuffins.
No, you said there's no explanation for it. Well, there is an explanation for it. It's put there to distract you.
Mm.
But
there is no explanation for it, though.
No, it's the exact opposite of what you're saying. Why are you being such a knob?
I'm not.
You're being a massive knob. She's still alive, I think, Bobby Gentry.
Can you ask her?
And she hasn't performed.
Was it just litter?
She hasn't performed for ages. Mm-hmm. It's a MacGuffin.
I don't think they're biodegradable.
It doesn't matter what they were chucking off.
Does really?
What do you think it was?
Like a baby or something.
All right, fine, then it was a baby. She hasn't performed or done any albums for like about 30 years, 35 years. Do you know why?
Don't like it.
She made a fortune in property investments.
Oh.
Absolute fortune. Like millions. I don't want to do this anymore. Just going to retire.
Fair play.
Just going to retire. I'm going to say 1982, making that year up, but it's very likely I'm right. I often am.
It's a MacGuffin.
And, by the way, we've now sold a third of the tickets for Manchester, right? So Manchester, May the
18th,
Saturday, May the 18th, the 3 Minute Theatre. It's a 70-seat venue, but we've got some very special guests coming. So there's 62 seats, and we've sold I think we sold 30. So it's a third of the tickets are gone. No, hang on, we sold just over 20. So that's a third of the tickets are gone. So if you want to get the tickets, man, if you buy them early. Here's the thing: if you buy them early, then we know whether we book a room in an EasyJet hotel or we book a room at the Manchester Palace Theatre hotel. But also, if we sell out like early, we're sort of sniffing around to see if we can get another show there, either Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. And it might be we might do a movie club, or a picture show, or we might do another rabbit hole, or we might do something a little bit different. I don't know. But if we were to, if we sell out in the next couple of weeks, with it being a few months away, we'll book another night. We'll book another night in, and we'll here's what we'll do. If we sell out, we'll book another night in, and everybody who's bought a ticket for the first one will get a cheeky little discount for the second one. That sounds
good.
That sounds good, doesn't it? That sounds good. We get a few quid off for the second one if we did it. It's only a possibility, and we've never done that before. But what I'm saying is,
if you're thinking of coming and you're holding off buying a ticket,
get tickets.
Don't.
IainLee.com/event. IainLee.com/event. Ruth is saying they threw a baby off that bridge. A movie was made about the song. Well, in the movie they threw a baby. But the movie was made 8 years. Don't tell me they made a. I know they made a movie. I know everything. The movie was made. Is it MacGuffin? The movie was made 8 years after the song. So in the movie, they decided it was a baby. But that doesn't mean retroactively, that it was actually a baby in the song. So Ruth Nichols, I'm deducting 5 points off of you. Lovely snow day today. Marred slightly. I know one of the gentlemen from Keeping Up Appearances has passed away, and that's sad. But marred slightly by Jeremy Hardy dying today. I like Jeremy Hardy. My sister worked with him. I'm going to say 24 years ago. 24 years ago, maybe. She worked with him on something, a TV special he was doing, or a live video or something he was filming. And she got me free tickets to go and see him. And I got to meet him very, very briefly. And she said, "Oh, by the way, Jeremy, this is my brother." And he was very, very gracious to me. Very gracious. We didn't have a particularly in-depth conversation. But I just remember he was polite to me. Instead of going, so what? He was like, "Oh, hey man, nice to meet you. And hope you enjoyed the show. And thanks for coming." And I think he said, no, I know exactly what he said to me. He said, "Oh, do laugh, I'm shitting myself." Before his, like, a big theatre show. And I was like, oh, wow, famous people who do this for a living get nervous. He said, you will laugh, won't you? I'm very nervous. And he was delightful. And, not to everyone's taste, very left-wing. But I always thought it was funny. The only funny thing on the news quiz. I just thought it was sad. When I heard it today, I was like, oh, no. And he was 56.
Yeah, he wasn't very old at all.
When people... I'm 46 this year, so kind of similar. But when people sort of my age... When I hear, in my mid-40s, when I hear people, 10 years older than me, people in their 50s dying, I think, oh, flip. Ooh, this game's getting serious now. This is it, isn't it?
Well, when you said yesterday that I'm the same age as John Lennon was when he got shot, that's a shocker.
Yeah.
Because he's always been a grown-up to me.
Yeah, exactly. But see, when you get into your mid-40s and people in their 50s start dying, you think, hey, this is it.
I think my granddad was only 63, 64.
Yeah. Well, my dad was 63, maybe a bit, 63 when he died. 62, maybe. This is it, man. This is it. This is happening. The game is on.
Well,
don't mess around.
My dad, I think, when he approached the age that his father was, he had a wobbly moment.
I think that's a very tough thing to.
Yeah. It's a kind of marker.
It certainly is.
But my granddad smoked 80 a day for a long time.
Yes. It's scary. Anyway. It's no day in a minute. Let's go to Dave first of all. Good evening, Dave.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Cass. How are you? I'm running by business.
Thank you very much indeed. There we go. I like it when the callers do the show for me.
Bobby Gentry.
Yes.
The Delta Suite album. Funnily enough, it's being released. Mercury Rev have re-recorded it.
I saw that because I was Googling it. Because I know that about 6 months ago, they released like a 10 CD box set of everything. she's done.
Yeah, the girl from Chickasaw County.
And I remember it being fairly cheap when it came out, and then I'd look at it just now, and it's like 80 quid, and it's like, oh, no, I'm not that bothered. But so I was kind of just Googling and noodling and looking around, and I saw the Mercury Rev were doing something with it, but they've re-recorded it.
They've re-recorded it with an all-star sort of cast of singers. So Lucinda Williams is on there, and Vashti Bunyan, and Norah Jones, Beth Orton, people like that. I haven't heard any of it yet, but I'm a big fan of Mercury Rev. So, and they put Ode to Billy Joe on the album just to... it's not on the original album. They just thought they'd record a version anyway.
Okay, here we go. This is Mercury Rev, Ode to Billy Joe.
There's no such thing as
Whoa, it's an advert that's not paid for advertising!
Stop that.
Stop trying to sneak onto my show! Here we go. No, thanks. I'm all right. Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
But if you're looking out for it in second-hand record shops, it was re-released over here in the 70s.
On the Music for Pleasure label?
On MFP, yeah. And I picked up in a charity shop just last week.
Was it on Music for Pleasure? I used to, my friend Matthew Percy got in terrible trouble at school, right? Because when we were in the 5th form, so we were like 15 or something, and for some reason we had to write down... there was this survey we had to do. We had to write down our hobbies. And a lot of us got in trouble because we were going through like an Aleister Crowley phase. So we wrote down black magic and seances, right? We didn't do black magic and seances. But our deputy head was like a really devout, born-again Christian, and we got called in and we got in terrible trouble. We also got in trouble for playing the hacky sack. He thought that the hacky sack that we were playing with in lunchtime was like a devil worship thing. Genuinely, he thought it was a ritual. But my friend Matthew Percy got in trouble for being flippant because he wrote down that one of his hobbies, the Music for Pleasure, right, was cheap albums, right? And the label was an oval shape. And it looked good when it went round. And he wrote down one of his hobbies was watching Music for Pleasure records going round.
It's a beautiful answer.
And he got in terrible trouble for being flippant. But it's a great site to watch, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
The old MFP.
The Vertigo logo is probably a bit better, but...
I'm going to say it. Some of your teachers were stupid.
Yeah, we'll teach... yeah, OK.
And crushers of dreams and spirit.
Hang on a minute. Is Mercury Rev doing Big Boss Man? Here we go. No, thanks. It really... That record really isn't... it really isn't working for me.
No.
You did give it a fair chance, though.
At least a few seconds, yeah. Yeah, but it was retitled as Way Down South, so if you ever see it in a second-hand record shop.
Way on down, way on down.
But I think the first time I heard the Beach Boys was on a MFP compilation called Good Vibrations.
One of my earliest Monkeys albums was an MFP compilation on cassette. Is MFP still going? Can we stop saying MFP? Let's call it Music for Pleasure. That's what it is.
Music for Pleasure.
Basically, it's cheap. Oh, one of my first Beach Boys was on Music for Pleasure. It was live in London.
Oh, yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, it was on Music for Pleasure, wasn't it? Cheapy releases. Do you remember as well? You used to get... here's the thing about vinyl, right? You can squeeze... you can get slightly more on now. But the maximum you really want on each side, maximum is about 22 minutes before the record starts getting thin and you start losing a bit of the bass. And I think you can get a little bit more now. But yeah, it's about 21, 22 minutes is kind of optimum. And do you remember you used to get the hour of compilations? You got an hour of the Kinks or an hour of, I don't know, whatever.
What happened after the hour? It just stops?
Well, no, what do you mean? What?
Well, they just keep putting records on until the hour runs out, and then it might stop halfway through when the hour's up.
I don't know what you mean. What?
You get an hour of the Kinks, right?
Do you know what she means, Dave?
Well, I think she's thinking they do it a complete hour, so if it runs out in the middle of a song, then...
Yeah, it's off. Your hour's up. No?
Oh, jeez. What? So you get... So they cram 30 minutes on each side.
Oh.
What did you think it was? Like a show or something? Were they were playing
No, just keep putting them on until you've got...
putting them on what?
The record, until you've got an hour's worth.
You're not speaking English. You're using English words, but you're not using a sentence.
So you just stack it up till there's an hour's worth.
You had like a brain injury or something in the last 30 seconds.
No, listen, I'm telling you exactly what I'm thinking.
Okay, let's go.
So I was imagining you keep putting music on, like a mixtape, and then...
On a record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when you're making a mixtape, you might run out of...
Okay.
Tape or time.
I get
Do you see what I mean?
I apologise. Sorry, I shouldn't have been rude. You can't help being dumb. But the sound quality was...
Is that a no?
Awful. These horrible thin records, and they were really quiet and tinny, and you think, wow, yeah, I'm getting great value for money with a golden... What was it called? The golden hour of the Kinks. And they were lousy records, man.
It was a tinny hour of the Kinks, yeah.
It was a very tinny hour of the Kinks, yes.
Going on to Ode to Billy Joe, I think the MacGuffin is, I think the MacGuffin is the baby. There's a cover version by Sinead O'Connor, which is on that, that War Child album that came out in the mid-90s?
I do remember it, yeah, very, very, very great.
On there, they even dubbed a baby crying at that point.
Well, that's just stupid. That's just a film. You can't let Sinead O'Connor. You can't let someone who rips up pictures of His Holiness the Pope on comedy programmes.
She was right to.
You can't let. Please, I'm still angry about that. And bloody Chris Christopherson putting his arm around her a week later at the Bob Marley thing. Oh, it disgusts me. You can't let her retrogradually.
Respectively.
Respect me, please. You can't let her retrogradually make you think it was a baby. It was a MacGuffin. All right, Dave. And we're late for the adverts, but do you know what? The adverts come out because it's important, right? Where did the baby come from?
Out of her.
Shush. Don't help Dave. He's come up with this. All right. So she had a baby, right? Yeah. And nobody knew about it.
Well, you have plenty of girls who, sort of...
Speak for yourself.
Speak for
yourself, Casanova.
In the olden days, she would have kept it quiet.
And also, her mother says, child, where's your appetite? Because maybe she had an appetite before.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. She's lost her appetite because she's being told over the dinner table while they're listening to the Black Eyed Peas that her boyfriend's dead. So of course her appetite's going to go. Thinking she's going to be hungrier.
But why didn't they know he was her boyfriend?
Because she kept it secret.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it was racial. Kathy's miming a finger going into a hole that she's made. Maybe he wasn't of their class. Maybe she just wanted to keep it, keep it secret. Maybe he was her backdoor man.
What?
Maybe he was her backdoor man.
I mean, side.
No, backdoor man.
What's that?
Sneaking in the back door.
They would have known, wouldn't they?
No, if he's sneaking in the back door.
You'd have had to get through that. What's that? That fly screen door. They bang terribly.
That'd be slamming, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. So...
Billy Joe, will you come into
the front? Who's creeping in your back door? Dave, with greatest respect, everybody who's called in tonight with the name Dave has thoroughly let themselves down.
I apologise.
You're worse than the homophobe.
In some ways, you're quite correct.
David, thank you very much indeed. Always a pleasure. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Okay. Oh, I was going to play this. Get rid of that music. Here we go. This is. There we go.
Everybody said they don't like the blues.
Oh, okay.
But you're wrong. See, the blues come from way back.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you something again. The thing that's going on today is not the blues.
Nope.
It's just a good beat that people is carrying. But now when you come down to the blues, I'm going to show you how to play the blues.
Please
now,
do,
you
Mr.
just
Howden
sit here and watch, man.
Okay, sir.
Oh, yeah. a backdoor man.
Yeah?
I am a backdoor man. Well, men don't know. Little girls understand.
Billy Joe, there's a gentleman for you. Wants to use the back door.
Good morning.
David won't like it.
Something's telling me you better get up and go. I am a backdoor man.
There we go. That happens. That's actually a thing. Snow day today. I had a great snow day.
It wasn't a snow day for us.
It shouldn't really have been a snow day where we were, but I didn't care. It was a snow day where I live. It was thick snow. But driving home last night, man, it took me ages. And here's the trick: driving on the snow and the ice. You just go slow. That's the thing. You just go slow. 50-mile-an-hour road. I was down to about 20 for most of it. Yeah, it's fine. A few cheeky little skid at a roundabout. Roundabout. I'm turning left at the roundabout. I'm thinking, I'm turning left. I ain't going left. Let's see where this ends up. Luckily, I was going slowly. But I was thinking, I've got no control. There's no other cars. Let's see where I end up. It was great. Loved it.
I was on the M1 northbound, and by the time I got to Hemel, I think, it was the snow was really coming down.
Yeah.
And I was probably doing about 50 because only like the middle lane was clear. The rest it was all the snow was sort of banking up on either side.
Yeah.
There were dickheads doing like 80, 90
Oh,
down
there's
the
idiots
other
everywhere.
lanes.
Idiots everywhere. I don't care. I think, well, I'll get home at 3 if I'm lucky. Great, fine, I can live with that.
But I'll get home, yeah.
I'll get home. And but then I had to go to Windsor today. The boys had the day off school, which was great. So I went and they were at their grandparents. I got over there about lunchtime, and they said, "Can we go home and watch?" They said, "No, we're not going to go home and watch telly. It's a snow day. We're going to go out and play for a bit, and then we can sit in front of the telly and veg
so
out."
cold that it becomes uncomfortable.
I said, "Look, there's a bit of snow," and there wasn't much snow, but we got the sledge out, and I'm pulling them along the pavement. I was mainly just pulling them. Here's the thing, guys: you can actually pull a sledge just along the pavement. It works. So I recommend just doing that.
Yeah, we've got two sledges. We've got a plastic flat one.
Yeah.
And we got a posh one with, like, metal runners.
Yeah.
We got the posh one out, right, because the snow was deep. But it was also so soft that when I took my little into school on it, and she was thrilled to bits, honestly, she just, a big grin on her face the whole time, and she's missing one of her top teeth, so it was a picture.
Yeah.
But it was so powdery, the snow, that it went straight down to the pavement. You could hear...
Here's the thing. Here's the permission to speak freely. Those wooden sledges, they don't work. They're rubbish because they just sink. They just sink down. They always do. And you think, I'm gonna get the wooden sledge. Yeah. They're rubbish. They do not do the job.
Well, this one's all metal and wooden seat.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely idea, but actually,
the
plastic one's probably better.
It don't work. So we had a bit of that, and then we found a patch of green where it was snow, and we made snowmen. And I taught them that they were making snowmen by just like mounding snow together. I was going, whoa, guys, what is this? Come on, we're gonna do this properly. I'm gonna teach you the rolling technique. And they saw it. They're like, whoa. That is amazing. So we're just rolling. Here's the problem, though. There was quite a lot of those two snowmen were brown. Not racist.
Yeah, no.
I'm not racist.
That's what happens.
But there was a lot of dog poo going on in those snowmen today. A lot of dog poo.
At the end of the day, my doorbell went, and it was my eldest come home from school.
Oh, no, I've clicked
kind of in tears.
Uh-oh.
I say kind of in tears because she was also out of breath. Because there's a group of, like, rowdy boys who walk the same way. We've had a little bit of stuff with them before. One of them happens to be... One of the kids that hangs out with him is my friend's son, and I've had a word with the mothers have had conversations. And my eldest said, they threw a massive snowball at me and it hit me right in the face.
I'd say unlucky.
And they and I sort of went, yeah,
unlucky, mate.
I said, did you throw one back? No. I said, right, well... And she said, and they were shouting stuff at us and they were being mean. I said, okay. And this is probably not in the handbooks to do as a mother. Yeah. But I gave her permission to call them quite a heavy name.
What?
And get lost in quite a heavy manner.
What name? Prig? No. Yeah. No.
Because that's what they're being. No, because it's happening like a lot on their way home from school. The boys are like calling the boys are calling the girls bitches.
Wow.
Yeah, and but just generally annoying them and aggravating them. So I gave her permission, in this case, to use some explicit language.
I was playing, I've never done this, I was playing Fortnite with the boys, right, because they like Fortnite. It's a great game. Here's the thing, it's not addictive. Well, it's addictive in as much as video games can be addictive, in as much as doing fun things can be addictive, right? But as a game itself, it's no more addictive than any other game. It's just a really, really good game. And so I was having a go, but I'm not very good at Fortnite because I can't build. Okay, that's the problem. I can run around, I can shoot like a great guy. But I can't think. So I was playing it with the boys, and I forgot the boys were there. And so I'm playing it, and then some guy starts shooting me from behind. And I said, without thinking, what the Wow. And I dropped an F-bomb. And the boys were in hysterics. I went, oh, no, I didn't mean, no, I shouldn't have, naughty daddy. Daddy, now, here's the thing. Daddy shouldn't have said that. That was very, very naughty. What I meant to say was, what the heck? And the wrong thing came out. Please don't tell your mother I said that, please. So that's what...
But they do find swearing hilarious, don't they?
They do find it absolutely hilarious. And it is funny, and we have very frank conversations about swear words. The youngest today was saying, imagine if Suarez's middle names... So his name's Luis Suarez?
Yes.
Imagine if his middle names were FC, he means crap, FC... And what's the rude word you said for testicles? Bollocks. Yeah. Imagine if his name was Louis F.C. Suarez. Wouldn't that be funny? And I went, you know what? Yeah, it would actually. That would be really, really funny. Because his name's Suarez. It sounds like Suarez.
Oh, right, I get you.
I think that's where it came from.
Okay, I thought it was just generally.
No, I think that's where it came from. And I thought, yeah, do you know what? That would be funny, man. That would be funny. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. Let's have an advert for a colleague's show. Then when we'll come back and we'll see what we can muster. This is Talk Radio.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation. Make contact with Iain Lee. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Well, have you got anything, Boyley?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, when David was spouting his nonsense about drag queens making children gay in libraries...
Actually, the more I think about it, the more I think libraries are a hotbed of homosexual conversion.
A guy went into a library in America, I read about it earlier today, where that was happening.
No.
Wielding a gun.
Ooh, yeah, right.
Because that's safer, obviously, than allowing people to read books to children. Incredible. Hang on, let me find this actual story.
It sounds like a fun story, guys.
He's
0344 499 1000, by the way, if you want to give us a call. You can chip in, because we've got no calls. We've got an hour and a half to go, and I just want to give you the best show we can do. And to do that, we're going to need your input. So please, just pick up the telephone and give us a call.
Here we go. So this guy, guess what colour his hat is?
What?
Guess what colour cap he wears?
Red.
Yes.
Here's the thing: if you wear a MAGA hat, right, I'm gonna say I'm pretty darn sure you're a racist. I'm gonna put you gotta make America great again hat on. The odds are, it's been scientifically worked out that there is an 89% chance you're a racist.
Well, also that you've got a hood at home.
Yes.
A Donald Trump supporter, reportedly armed with a gun, barged into a Texas library in an attempt to stop a drag queen reading books to children.
Good.
James Greene was arrested on suspicion of trespassing after refusing to leave Houston's Freed Montrose Library, but claimed he was detained for being a white Christian and accused staff of Satanism. He'd entered the building to protest against Drag Queen Storytime, a programme of events in which performers read children's stories to families. The Conservative radio host has previously been banned from the library for filming children during similar demonstrations.
You dirty bugger.
Footage filmed by Mr. Greene and posted on YouTube shows him remonstrating with police officers as they ask him to leave the building. Another clip shows him being handcuffed in the library's car park.
He loved it. He loved it, you kinky so-and-so.
Here's what he says. We have a bunch of homosexuals that are molesting children, he is heard telling officers. They're doing it with your help.
Wow.
Outsmart, a Houston LGBTQ magazine, reported that officers took a concealed firearm off Mr. Greene as they detained him. And I mean, that's... Under Texas law, licensed gun owners can carry firearms in most public places, including libraries. There's no suggestion he was planning to use the gun. A manager asked us for assistance because he was banned from the library and wouldn't leave when he was asked, a Houston Police Department spokeswoman told the magazine. She added he was previously banned for filming children at the library and has been known to cause disturbances. Several officers had to escort him out. Police called an ambulance for Mr. Greene after he began complaining of chest pains during his arrest. He was later released from hospital, and prosecutors have not filed any charges against him.
Sounds like a dirty boy.
He claimed he was arrested for being a white Christian and accused a librarian at Freed Montrose of being a Satanist. This cannot stand. We must fight back, added Mr. Greene.
Dirty boy!
He hosts a programme on Raging Elephants Radio.
Oh, hang on a minute, let's find that.
A conservative online station in Texas.
Raging Elephants Radio.
Meanwhile, police are to step up security at the next Drag Queen Storytime, which is held at the library each month. The event has attracted protesters from anti-LGBTQ conservatives and as well as counter-demonstrations from supporters. Can the kids not just hear the stories?
Can we play the adverts? I've got a frog in my throat.
Oh, blimey.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
We could be dreaming and meeting each other in our dreams.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. So I found Raging Elephants Radio, right? And their website is a mess. Look, I can't talk because if you've seen the Talk Radio website, let's say the Raging Elephants Radio website is even worse than ours. That's how bad it is. But I found kind of a news story that is, I think is sort of connected but not exactly the same on the Raging Elephants website, right? Houston-based conservative culture warrior Tex Christopher, who looks like Larry Sanders in his picture, has filed a lawsuit in district court to stop the Drag Queen Storytime events for children at the Houston Public Library. Christopher has risen to prominence. I mean, this is a completely whack job radio station. Has risen to prominence in Houston for leading efforts against former Mayor Anise Parker and her neo-morality HERO ordinance. More recently, Christopher, and I want you to try and find this organiser, these people. Okay, I don't have a name, but Christopher has focused his efforts on stopping the proliferation of sex robot parlours in Houston.
Wow.
Can you find me a sex robot parlour in Houston, please? For several months, HPL has been scheduling drag queen storytime events, and the Conservatives have been fighting back. Christopher's lawsuit argues the government is in violation of the First Amendment by promoting a religion. He believes that the neo-morality movement is actually the practice...
Well...
Hang on a minute. There's a bit of audio of him talking to a presenter on... let's see what this is. I'm not sure what this is. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I've got two things open at the same time. Let's have a... I need to close, because I've got the live feed from the radio station as well. So let me just stop my tuner. There we go. Right, then we should be able to hear this. Here we go.
And it's so perfectly... I was wrong. On the Girls from Texas. On Raging Elephants Radio. And the rebellious voice of Texas Liberty. The revolutionary voice.
Playing live.
Claver.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Texas Liberty.
Oh, that's playing live.
Right,
that's playing
that voice.
That's playing live there. Hang on.
Of Texas National Movement, Nationalist Movement, TNM, whose Susan Dantzler is a member of...
Right, that's like, I don't know what that is. Okay, let's...
The official party is going to be the Democrat Party, and that's what makes all this wrong as well. And I'm the first one to tell somebody.
So this is Tex Christopher talking. This is pre-recorded, but I'm trying to find...
wrong, and I'm calling you out on it.
Right. This is a mess. Tex Christopher files lawsuit to stop Houston Public Library drag queen storytime. Tex Christopher interviewed by Apostle Claver T. Kamu Imani.
It may be his first time, second time, third time. I don't know. I got to find out. Tex Christopher is a local cultural warrior here for the Lord Jesus Christ in the Houston area. Now, Raging Elephants Radio contributor Tracy Shannon is an ally of Tex Christopher. And we've got something crazy going on down here in Houston called Drag Queen Storytime at the Houston Public Library. Tracy has been keeping us up to date sort of on what's going on. I haven't talked to Tracy in the last couple of weeks, so it's great to have Tex on because he's going at them right at their grill, going right for the midsection, going right for the kill.
That's where the penis is.
Legal action on this matter. Tex, welcome, my brother, to Raging Elephants Radio's Conversation Line.
Thank you so much for having me.
Raging
Apostle.
Elephants
It's a joy and honor
radio
to
conversation
get with you
line.
guys today. Thank you so
Jesus.
much.
Now, I think this is the first time perhaps we've had a conversation on my particular air shift, but I don't think this is your first time on Raging Elephants Radio, is it?
No, sir. No, sir.
Oh, good.
I've been on the show over
By the way,
years.
if George Galloway does get the boot from here, this sounds like it could be great for him. He could get in with these guys.
I would be embarrassed if it was the actual first time ever with all your activism. Tex, a real rodeo cowboy, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Once a rodeo cowboy, always one. Tex, you have built up quite a reputation of being a cultural warrior.
Jump forward a bit.
Sex robots coming to America.
There we go. Just jump to the right bit. Hang on. There we go.
That God calls us to be and to be warriors for Him, and the opportunity to be able to stand and to protect women and children and anyone that needs a voice, someone to draw a line in the sand, as we say here in Texas, and say, not on my watch, and back off. Don't mess with us. This was just another perfect opportunity. I was leading the charge to defeat sex robots coming to America.
I was leading the charge to defeat sex robots coming to America, like an actual invasion of sex bots.
We know with what.
Texas and Houston, and a city councilman reached out to me, Michael Kubash, and he goes, man, I know that you're so against these sex robots coming to this country, but he said, I need your help with these drag queens reading to our children. And that's all it took. And I'm like, what? What is going on? And then the only way that we're going to make a change is to come at things from a legal way. And that's exactly what we're getting to do, Apostle. And we're leading, motivating, and inspiring other men to take their rightful place in their own communities. And the opportunities are all around us. The question is, are we going to take a stand, or are we going to sit and watch?
A stand against what?
Just men as well, have you noticed?
Yeah, I don't understand. Stand against what?
This type of thing.
I don't get
it. He equates the sex robots with the drag queens.
Well, yeah. I don't get what the stand is.
Tex Christopher is my guest here on Raging Elephants Radio. Tex, we just want to go back and let people understand what's been going on. This necessarily wasn't snuck in under the radar. Drag queens...
Listen, darling, you cannot sneak drag queens under the radar. They are huge!
Going to the Houston Public Library and reading to 2, 3, 4, 5-year-olders and younger wasn't snuck in under the radar. It was highly publicized, and the media took to it. The first media accounts wasn't necessarily, I wouldn't call them indictments. They were sort of matter of factual, if you will.
Yeah, I'm really struggling.
The media were matter of fact about it, were they?
To get my head around what the problem is. Are they worried? Well, you know from the first caller that they're worried that they're going to turn the kids gay. I guess there seems to be a hint that they're going to get molested as well.
Yeah. That's what this James Greene was suggesting.
I'm so confused. Let's carry on. This is good. I'm enjoying this.
But it certainly outraged portions of the Harris County community, and you were part of it. I think Dr. Stephen Hotze has spoken out against it.
Just don't take your kids if you don't.
Exactly. I don't think it's compulsory, is it?
If you don't want your kids being read to by a drag queen, we just don't. Why? What?
Why is it any of their business?
This is
taking
great.
Actions against it, and others. Where does the fight stand right now, Tex?
Yes, sir. Well, the fight stands in taking it into the courts. And so I'm a good old country boy, Apostle, and you don't go and talk to the snake. You cut the head off the snake. That's just how you take care of business.
He's obsessed with snakes.
And so the facts is that the facts in the case are undisputed matters of public record. The case presents itself as an emergency here in our community. In July 2018, the Public Library, in conjunction with the American Library Association, they took the initiative to partner with a non-secular organization. And
I'm going to jump forward quite a bit. Here we go.
And about it's okay to to feel this way. If you're a boy, it's okay.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's go back a little bit. Here we go.
Not science. Ideology is the key word. Second, it's there to entice minors to open the door to adopting the GLBT lifestyle through sexually suggestive innuendos and reading these books about boy mermaids and about it's okay to feel this way. If you're a boy, it's okay to go ahead and want to be a princess. And all of this is ideology, and that is the separation of the scientific facts versus the religion of human secularism. And now what it is we have this call, literally, that's all around the globe. This thing started in San Francisco. It's been up in New York. Now it's down here in the great state of Texas and Houston. And they're wanting to go ahead and make this a strong focal point here in Texas because as Texas goes, not only goes our nation, but so goes the world. And so this has been taking place, and there's other entities that are coming along and supporting this movement. And that's what makes it a religious movement.
Did you hear that? So he thinks that where Texas goes, the world follows. Flipping it.
Yeah, all right,
We're all screwed.
Let's go on.
The good news for him
Yeah.
is that the City Council of Houston, Texas unanimously passed an updated ordinance Wednesday that effectively blocks the proposed sex robot brothel. So the world is saved.
Unlucky. Good evening, Sandra.
Hi there, how are you guys? Okay?
I'm shocked that the world is full of idiots like Tex Cunningham and Tex Christopher, and we're going to be listening more to Raging Elephants Radio. We'll go live to them in a little bit. How are you, Sandra?
Okay.
How are you, Sandra D?
I am great. So you're coming to Glasgow soon?
We're coming to Glasgow. I've got to sort it out. June, I think, hopefully. We're going to come to where the Burnt Church Film Club used to be.
Oh, that's great.
And we're going to hopefully do a night there in June. But I've got to go back and confirm the date. Yes, the Flying Duck. We're going to be there. We're coming. We're going to do a show, and it's going to be great fun.
Oh, that's great. I'm really pleased. Can I just tell you, I mean, you're talking about the stupidness of people.
Yeah.
I was at a gig tonight. I don't get out to many gigs these days because I'm quite ill.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention the name of the person, right, but he's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
And it was part of Celtic Connections in Glasgow.
Right.
And this guy was amazing. He was absolutely amazing. He got up and a lady was dancing in the seat. A security guard came and remonstrated with her.
Remonstrated, you say?
She didn't sit down. And then he came back in with two security guards and manhandled her out.
Oh. Wow.
I don't know.
Why don't you want to mention the artist?
Well, okay, I will. John Grant.
Who?
John Grant.
I don't know John Grant.
Oh, you have to listen to him. He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Top of his game.
Give me a song. Was he in a group?
Called the Czars. A Signori Weaver. Green Ghost.
John Grant. He's an American singer-songwriter.
GMF. He's brilliant.
Oh, he looks. I like his look. I'm seeing a picture of him. He looks like a cool guy. I like the beard. I like the hair.
He's got a beard and the hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he looks like me. He looks exactly like me. He's like a slightly less better-looking version of me.
Yeah.
But I like him. And she got turfed out just for having a little boogie.
Yeah. I was just like flabbergasted.
Here's the thing, security guys. Right. Here's the thing, security guys. If someone whips out their phone to film something, just let them film it. It's 2019, for crying out loud. Everyone's got a video. It's not like bootlegging in the 70s and the 80s. Everyone's got a camera on their phone. It's more disturbing you going, no, stop it, and then standing in front of them. Just let them film it.
I would stop from filming, and other people were as well. So.
Let them film it, and let them take pictures of it. For God's sakes, it does the artist no harm whatsoever. Yes, in the 70s and the 80s, it probably cost them a few quid. It does them no harm whatsoever. Most artists don't mind it. If the artist comes out and says, "Stop, please, I beg of thee, don't film us." All right, maybe, but otherwise, just let them film it. Let them take pictures. Who cares?
Well, I didn't do the venue very much good, and the security company, But the guy was amazing. Listen to John Grant, you'll love him.
All right, this is my weekend. I'm going to tell the boys, get lost. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want anything to do with those losers. It's John Grant, and then I'm going to listen to Eddie Grant, and then I'm going to listen to Barry Grant from Brookside. I'm doing the Grants.
Barry Grants.
I'm doing the Grants. Hey, nice one, Sandra. Well, listen, as soon as we have a date, I will let you know.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you're coming up. The dogs you knew, by the way, the stand are getting turned into student flats.
Sorry?
The way you played before.
It's getting turned into flats?
Yeah, student flats.
Is it closed down now, then?
Well, they're closing it down. It was in the paper yesterday.
Oh, no.
I know, remember we were talking about that when you came up before.
That's terrible. That's a great little venue, that.
I know.
Oh, flipping it. Well, that's that decision made. We were unsure exactly where to go. Well, that's the decision made. Oh, that's lousy news. Oh, mate. All right, Sandra, thanks for that.
Take care.
Tutty, bye. Oh, that's a real shame. Closing the stand in Glasgow and turning it into flats. That was a lovely venue.
It was.
Though they made us buy posters that they didn't put up. It cost us £100, but it's still a lovely venue.
Maybe they'll find the box that the posters are in and we can have them.
03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Okay. That's enough messing around, boys. Let's 03444991000. How you feeling? I'm feeling a bit flat. Sparky first hour.
I'm all right.
I'm
all right.
I feel a bit. Let's listen to a bit more of what's that radio station called? Wreck-It Ralph Radio.
Raging Elephant.
Raging.
Should be called Raging Bullshit.
We're going to go live now. This is a show called The Girls from Texas. Let's have a little listen.
Blasting window-shaking music.
Right. Well, again, it's just lost its importance over time to the people who should be caring about it most, which would be San Antonio, because San Antonio is no longer controlled by Texans.
It's controlled by the Jews.
To begin with, the Alamo should never have been given into the hands of, at the time,
the homosexuals
under Jerry Patterson. But Jerry Patterson wasn't going to be there forever.
That's right.
And it was not a well thought out.
This is right ring. I don't know what they're talking about, but I think I found my new favourite radio station. I think this is it.
Ooh, that was a Freudian slip. Governor Perry at the time, it just wasn't well thought out. Perry got irritated and said, "Hey, do you want it?" Commissioner Patterson said, okay. He took it over, and he did fine with it. He left it in the hands of Daughters of the Republic, but he wasn't going to be there forever.
What lousy
things to politicians that can use these things later for their own benefit. It should have stayed. It should have stayed in the hands of the Daughters of the Republic with an oversight committee in the Texas Senate. That's the way it should have stayed.
And ideally, it could be put under the custodialship of Texas Parks and Wildlife, like the San Jacinto Monument.
Yes.
All right, that's quite boring. I want to talk more about gays in libraries, and then we phone them up. What the hell? I'm a gay librarian.
Yes. I managed to turn so many people.
I like having sex with books. I would like to encourage children to be having sex with books. That's what I'd like to do. Deal with it, guys.
Terrifying.
Yeah. That's the way it goes. That's what you got, Boyley.
I've got this. Bizarre device claims to dry your dog in minutes. Here's where you can buy it.
Okay, I'm in.
If you've got a wet dog and you're wondering how you're going to dry it, here's the solution. If you're forever having to wash your dog because they can't seem to stay out of the mud, you might want to keep reading. Okay. There's nothing quite like a freshly bathed dog. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's hear about this thing.
Yeah.
Apparently there is. It looks a little odd. Okay, it looks like a sleeping bag. Or those bags that you put over your boiler?
No.
The sort of insulating bag things.
On your boiler? You mean on your immersion heater?
Or whatever,
It's different from your boiler.
Oh, yeah, your boiler's the big square thing that looks like a fridge.
Yes, and by the way, can I just say, I've got a new boiler, and it really is very efficient. On with your story. Sorry, I thought I was going somewhere with that, and actually it's quite a boring fact, but it's true.
But it's interesting.
It's really efficient.
You get yourself a new boiler, you realise how inefficient you are.
Very efficient.
A company called Puff and Fluff have created a special dryer which they say reduces wet dog odour, dries your dog and warms your dog after a cold winter walk. The item is a synthetic coat, and you put the dog in and then attach a blow dryer through a nozzle, and the warm air circulates the pet's body. I quite fancy one of these for myself.
There's a great documentary on Netflix. It's not great, actually. It's a fun distraction for 90 minutes. The documentary about the cat competition in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a great film. It's not like the fire documentary, which is brilliant.
Catwalk.
But do you know what? There are worse ways to spend 90 minutes.
I loved it just for the fact that one of the hero cats was called Ooh La La.
Yeah.
It's spelled Oh La La.
Oh La La. And they bathe their cats. They're bathing in the bath.
And the cats don't mind.
Well, one of them doesn't mind. One loves it. The other one has to be strapped in. They've got the collar, and which is attached to the bath. But then they put them in a cage and then just leave a hairdryer blowing on them for like an hour or something. It's some film.
The cats were very placid considering how much messing about was going on, because the cats I've known would not have stood for that kind of behaviour.
No.
I mean, they were kind of shining their noses up and fluffing their hair.
Yeah. Listen, don't take that one, please. Don't take that one, please. I think, yeah. Put the phone down. I feel the vibe has left me. The gift, the spirit, the Holy Spirit has left me somewhat.
Okay.
So, I need to kind of...
Let's
last 50 minutes, let's do something. I want to take calls straight to air, but that feels a little bit old-fashioned and a little bit. Is that the same? Is that the same one? That is the same one, isn't it? Or not?
Yeah.
It is. No, don't take that. No, mate. Not if you're going to phone up and do a bomb threat at a radio station.
If that indeed is you.
Yes. No, thanks. So, what are we going to do? What can we do for the last 50 minutes? I just feel going through news stories and stuff.
I've got chat, it's fate, but I want to do that joyously. I don't want to do that as a...
That's not a standby. That's a show in itself.
Yes.
That's a show in itself. What can we do? I know what we're going to do. This is exactly what we're going to do. It does involve calls straight to air, so it is a little bit of a cop-out. I'm done. I'm spent. I'm a spent force. I have nothing more to give you this week. I gave you the rock and roll. I gave you the best years of my life. Oh, hang on. I think that's a Gary Glitter lyric, and in which case I apologise to anyone offended by that. So I'm going to hand the show over to you, dear listener. I'm going to... And it's slightly tricky because I haven't got all the songs here, but I'm going to play some kind of psychedelic ambient music in the background... And you're gonna phone up straight to air 0344 499 1000, and you're just gonna come on and do whatever you want to do. And if I feel the need to, you can take that one and call that one back, please. Thank you, Matthew. And if me and Kath feel the overwhelming urge to chip in, we will. But otherwise, we can do this, I think. Otherwise, the last 45 minutes of the show, before Killer Kellner, he's killed a man, the last 45 minutes of the show are yours. To do with as you want. I always think when it's been snowing, there's a weird vibe, isn't there? I mean, and I tell you partly where the weirdness comes from. It's because everything sounds different. It muffles the sound. Everything sounds. You go out in a street that's covered in snow, or in the woods that's covered in snow, and everything just sounds completely different.
Yeah.
And I think it drives you a little bit crazy. This is why there's so many murders in Alaska, because you go nuts with that thing. So leave. Tell him to call back in a minute, please. Thank you very much. I'll take the rest from here on in. So we're going to speak to Marty because he's called in from Canada.
Cool.
Then we're going to have a break. Then we're going to come back. I'm going to play some chilled out psychedelic music that I'm going to find on YouTube, because I don't think I've got all my tracks here with me. And you're going to call in if you want 0344 499 1000. We'll take calls straight to air, and you come on and do what you want or not. And we'll just listen to some chilled-out psychedelic tracks. It's that simple. Let's do Marty first, because he's called in from Canada. Good evening, Marty.
Yeah. Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Cass.
Cass popping out for a second to have a cheeky fag. Oh. What can we do for you?
Oh, a cheeky fag. Hey, dude, well, good news. I had a great day yesterday. One, I booked a flight to go and see my son in Germany.
Yes, mate.
At the end of this month.
Jawohl, Mach Schau.
Yeah. And so I'm really excited, dude. I'm going on the 27th of February.
Brilliant. Well done. That's great news.
For 3 weeks. So that's great news. But I thought you might be interested, dude. Guess who I went to see last night?
In Canada. Who did you go to see? Kiss.
You are going to see, yes.
Yay! Were they any good? Because Paul Stanley, I've seen clips of Paul Stanley from a couple of years ago, and he's lost his voice.
Yes, his voice is gone. But the show was great.
Because he can't do any of the... It's cold gin time again! He can't do any of that, and it's all, it's cold gin time again.
He was trying. But the pyrotechnics, like the fireworks, were almost drowning them out. I've never seen so many pyrotechnics in my life. It was ridiculous.
I think the pyrotechnics are more important than the bands these days, if I'm completely honest. Who cares? Who cares what they sound like? It's all about the show.
It is. Well, it was a great show, but I also wonder... I don't think it's going to be their last tour. I think they're going to.
Of course, it's not. Hang on. Their last tour was in 1996. Of course, it's not their last tour. They just struggle selling tickets, so they say, right, we're never doing this again. And then that's that. Of course, it's not their last tour. Don't be such a muppet.
Yeah. What else? They played. They started off pretty good. Detroit Rock City, Shout It Out Loud, and Juice.
I don't want any more spoilers. No more spoilers, please. I like to just rock up and see what's going on and experience it as it happens. But it was a good show.
Brilliant show, dude. You're going to enjoy it.
That's all we need. Marty, listen, I'm going to move on because we're going to take calls straight to air and we're going to play some lovely psychedelic music. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Hate alarm clock. Hate going to work.
On Talk Radio.
Ollie, you're right. It's not been a classic show tonight. The last 40 minutes could be gold or it could be absolute dog shite. Who knows? And let's be honest, really. In the great scheme of things, we're all just filling time until we die. So who cares? You know, it's just filler. This show is filler. The TV is filler. Everything's filler. We're just filling in the empty, boring, bland time that exists until we die. So, call straight to air, 0344 499 1000 if you want to call up, do whatever you want to do. Don't swear, don't be libellous. I'm going to mix and match, and if you hear someone talking, that means you might be on air, so join in. And no one may call in, and you know what? That's the way it goes as well sometimes, you know? So, let's just see what happens. We're going to have a little bit of this. Here we go! I can see for miles played on a sitar. Yes, brother. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio. Then you got to say something.
Me?
Yes.
Oh my God! Hello. I just wanted to say that you're my crush.
Oh dear God, save us all. I mean, not today, thank you. Yes, line 2.
Oh yes. How does a caterpillar grow? Dear me, does anybody know? How does a caterpillar grow on a cabbage all day long? Goodbye.
Yes, line 3. Oh, Jesus. I mean... yes, line 4. That's you, Barney.
Come on, Barney.
OK, we're dealing with idiots. I mean... Line 5, you're on the wireless.
Excuse me, mate. Has your boy lost his shoe?
I don't think so. Why?
Oh, well, I was just walking through your front garden about to burgle your horse leak, and I saw a shoe out in the front garden.
Oh, yeah, no, that is our shoe. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
OK, I'll leave it on the doorstep.
Thank you very much indeed. There we go. That's what we want. Yes, line 5, you're on the wireless.
How can it be Culture Week every Tuesday? Eamon Holmes, you're an idiot!
There we go. If you want to phone up and complain about the station, now's the time to do it, guys. 0344 499 1000. We literally don't care. We don't give a hoot. Yes, line 6.
Heads or tails?
Sorry?
Heads or tails?
Heads.
Damn it.
Yes, man. Line 9, you're on the wireless.
Hello there, Ian. It's Eamon Holmes here.
Oh, Eamon, I hope you're not listening to the show.
No, I'm listening. I'm a big fan of it. Ruth's just in the bath and she's pulling on something sexy for me for tonight, for Big Boy.
OK, well, that's lovely, Eamon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you. Thank you. Gosh. Oh, 0344 499 1000. Hello, line 7, you're on the wireless.
I'm the greatest broadcaster in Britain. Reporting!
Line 10, you're on the wireless.
I'm a cougar.
Thanks very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. We learned the Fred and Rose West programme was pulled for legal reasons. We welcome line 3 to the show. Good evening, you're on the wireless.
Good evening. I think it's about time, after all this repetitive, highfalutin, conceptual, annoying deposits being thrown about in political discussions, I think it's about time we brought things back down to earth a bit. So, Theresa May, the Prime Minister, her husband, he looks like Hank Marvin. Hashtag real talk, people.
Get me a picture of Theresa May's husband. I need to fact check that because we may have just libelled someone. Yes, he does look like Hank Marvin. Hashtag real talk. Let's go to line 7, you're on the wireless.
George, you're a fanny.
Oh! Oh! Someone shot at me with my own gun! Wowzers! Line 6, you're on the wireless.
I've got an orange pair of overalls.
And what are you doing with them?
Orange is the new black, but that song's gone now.
Thank you very much indeed. See 'em sitting pretty in a row. Lucy in the sky, like Lucy in the sky, see how they fly. I'm flying. Line 3, you're on the wireless.
Odds or even?
I'm going to go odds.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, here we go. This is it. This is it. Ooh, bass break. You've been a naughty boy, you let your knickers down. I am the Eggman. They are the Eggmen. I am the walrus. Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. Stick around, this is where it gets funny. Let's go to line 8, you're on the wireless. Hello? Hello? We got a shy one. Come on. Uxbridge. Suxbridge. Hello? Bottler. 0344 499 1000. Bum, 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 bum. I am the walrus. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Like pigs from a gun, see how they run. I'm fine. 0344 499 1000. My switchboard is empty. Guys, come on, please. have spaffed out all our callers, which means we just get to listen to groovy psychedelic sitar music.
That's pretty good.
For the rest of the show. I'm particularly looking forward to listening to this. 0344 499 1000. If you want to give us a call, you're very welcome. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Red or black?
Kath, you have a go this time.
Red.
Oh, come on.
Unlucky, buddy. Unlucky. Line 2, you are on the wireless.
This is a story all about how my life got flipped and turned upside down. I'd like to take a little bit to tell you that I once became a town of Bel Air. I hunted for a cab, and when he came by, I need to read the words and throw it in again.
Honesty! I like the honesty. I like the honesty there. Very honest. Line 4, you're on the wireless.
All roads lead to Rome, but the A57 doesn't. That leads to workshop.
I've never understood that saying, all roads lead to Rome. What is that about? What is that about?
Romans built lots of long, straight roads, didn't they?
Yeah, but they don't all lead to...
Well, eventually they did.
No, they don't.
Yeah, because they walked from Rome, they had to go back.
Yes, line 1, good evening, welcome, you're live on the wireless, what can we do for you? Oh, it's Sweep. Hello, Sweep.
Oh, dirty devil!
Dirty bugger.
Well, I did warn you, put some yoghurt on it and let's not talk about it anymore.
Surprisingly, this is a different person. This is Ananda Shankar. Like most 15-year-old boys, I liked the Doors for about 30 minutes, and then I realised it was all dirty leather trousers, speed, and bullshit.
Like most 14-year-old girls, I thought Jim Morrison was dreamy.
Yeah, I bet he stank.
Yeah,
he never
exactly.
took those trousers off. I mean... Let's try line 1. Good evening, line 1. Hello? Aloha? Hang on a second. Sometimes it gets a little bit sniffy here. Hello, line 1? Ah, man, what a... I rebooted the system. Let's try line 2. Hello, line 2. Okay, right, well done. Well done. Here comes line 3. Good evening, line 3. Hello? What a time for the phones to stop working! Sweet Jesus! It's the phone-in show and the phones don't work! I'm being told that you might have been expecting a call back earlier on and didn't get one. Because the phones don't work. That's why. The phones don't work.
Oh, man.
If you didn't get called back and you meant to... the phones don't work! Jesus! Everybody's welcome to call in, guys. Apart from, the drunk, the guy that told me to kill myself, the woman that pretended to kill herself, the troll. Apart from them...
I like that bit.
That bit was great! Here we go. Yes, man.
Who do you think you are, Fatboy Slim?
Yes, man. 0344 499 1000. You are all welcome. Line 6, you're on the wireless.
Have you got a light, boy?
Have you got a light? Thank you. Line 7, you're on the wireless.
Hello. Could I do a poetic reading, please?
You certainly can, even though poetry on the radio sucks, so where you go.
Today is just another day, but is it? Who do you love? Who do you miss? Who don't you love? Who don't you miss? What do you do that you love? What don't you do that you love? Most of us live as if we are immortal. In some ways, this is a beautiful thing, as it removes the parameters and restrictions of time. But sometimes we must realize it is also the very thing that imprisons our dreams. The now, the present, sometimes locked in our rigidity of our lives, we forget to remember that every second time is quietly having its way with us. It's actually a beautiful thing. It never tells us how to use it. Time never says, hurry up. Time never says, slow down. God gave us free will to do with time as we wish. But if there is somebody you love, and there is something you love, or there's a place that you love, go.
Yeah, go is a great idea. I mean, really. Line 6, you're on the wireless.
Hello, Ian, it's Nelly again here. I've actually found on the back of an envelope some lyrics that I must have written from about 10 years ago.
I thought you were going to say they were written by John Lennon or something.
No,
okay.
Just me. Now, I wondered if I could workshop them with you just very quickly.
Please do.
What you think of them?
Sounds wonderful.
Improve them.
Yes.
If you remember, I rang weeks ago and I was giving you some northeast dialect, and one of the words was Parmoor, and this song is called Parmoor Princess.
Okay.
So it goes, Parmoor Princess, so glamorous, Audrey Hepburn dress, I need to impress.
Hey?
A Parmoor Princess, she's wondrous. What's your address? I like your chest.
Okay, thanks very much. I mean, that really is wow. It's all right. I'm jumping jack, flash high like gas, gas, gas. Hello, line 2, you're on the wireless.
I am digging this groovy music, baby.
Yeah.
Can we have some hot cakes as well?
Not at all. Line 4, you're on the wireless.
Hi there.
Hello there, line 4.
Hi, Ian.
Okay, yes? Right, thanks very much for calling. Let's go to line 2. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Oh, ye canny shove your granny off a bus. Oh, ye canny shove your granny off a bus. Oh, ye canny shove your granny 'cause she's your mammy's mammy. Ye canny shove your granny off a bus.
Thank you very much. My friend Jay, the cameraman, taught Gene Simmons that song.
Good work.
There you go. Line 6, you're on the wireless.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Where have you been?
Unbelievable. Outrageous. 0344 499 1000. Last 3 minutes of this nonsense, then we're going to have some ads, and we're going to come back and just do normal stuff. 3 minutes, 03444991000. If you tried to call in earlier and you didn't get a call back, now is the time to call in, guys. The phone system is like 65% working, I think. Line 2, you're on the wireless. Make that 55% working. I mean, Jesus. It's only a phone-in show. Line 4, you're on the wireless.
So here's the next part of the song.
Oh, God.
Inside there's a queuing. Outside there's a shoeing. Then in from the cold, what a sight to behold. She gives me a grin, I let her push in.
Okay, that's we're getting across the line there, guys. Line 6, you're on the wireless. Jesus, this flipping piece of crap phone system and piece of crap. Shit! Rubbish! Line 7, you're on the wireless.
When I was younger, I once stopped at a girlfriend's house and her parents put me in a spare room. And when I woke up, I put the headphones on. I closed my eyes and I had a bit of a tug.
Come on.
And when I woke up, there was a cup of tea by the side of the bed.
Thank you very much indeed. There we go. Let's try line 2. You're on the wireless.
Today, the nation of snowflakes has been ground to halt by a nation of snowflakes, making a nation of snowflakes moan about a nation of snowflakes. Bloody snowflakes.
Thank you very much indeed. Line 4, you're on the wireless. This... Oh, I mean, right. Oh, Jesus. What's the point? What's the point?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
03444991000. We'll still take calls straight to air, but we'll remove the slight psychedelic vibe. Although it seems no point in doing a phone-in show if the phone system doesn't work. We were getting about 70% of those calls.
Incredible.
And then Matthew says there are a couple of people who phoned in and they couldn't call them back, not because the phone system doesn't work. Imagine! So if you called in earlier on and you didn't get on because you didn't get a call back, call now. We'll put you on straight to air. If you called in straight to air and you didn't get on, we'll try and put you straight to air, but I cannot guarantee.
Really what you're saying is, if you're thinking about giving us a ring, give us a ring. 0344 499 1000.
And listen, I know it's not important for the other shows because they don't get as many calls as we do, but wouldn't it be great to have a phone system? I don't know, work for a phone-in show? 70% hit rate is poor. I haven't rebooted the system. I rebooted, and it wasn't happening. By the way, I got the money up from Aviva from £100 compo to £250 compo.
Wow.
I got a long phone call today, long apology, long detailed apology, going through every single point. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
They shouldn't...
That's how they do it. You shouldn't have kids doing it. You shouldn't have kids doing apologies and things like that. Honestly, the guy, I moaned about him earlier on in the week, and I'm still, I'm not peed off, actually, because he phoned up. He said, he emailed me on Tuesday, and said, I'm going to look through this. I'll give you a call Friday if that's okay. I said, fine, that's great. And he went through every single point.
Beautiful.
And I asked him, I said, look, you've listened back to the recordings. Did I get, because if I got aggressive at any point, I'm really sorry. I know I have a tendency to get a little bit feisty sometimes. And he said, no, you have no reason. I've listened to it. You were fine. It was handled badly.
Inexpertly,
in
yes.
every single thing. The woman said, you're being rude now. I'm going to hang up. I'm going to end this call. He said, she shouldn't have said that. You weren't being rude. You were frustrated, but you were calm. And all I said was, the thing that caused her to say I'm going to hang up was, I said, I've got a prediction for you. you're going to roll over and you're going to pay this guy's claim, whatever happens. You're being rude now, sir, so I'm going to end this phone call.
Did she think that you literally said she was going to roll over?
No. Anyway, yes, the £250 was great. Thanks very much. That'll help. That'll help pay the £100 speeding fine I got. And maybe buy a CB radio. It won't. I'm skint. It'll feed me and the cats. But he just went through every point. He said, right, this, and this. And it was fine. It's fine. I see you do it. That. I called them out for being jerks earlier in the week. I'm more than happy to call them back in when they get it right. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. A little bit of the old nous. Jasmine is nuts. So Jasmine's nuts.
What's she saying?
Just thinking about how thankful I can be that I can lay in a bed, eating sweets, while listening to one of the best radio shows, the talk radio, while hundreds of children in China and India are doing hard work sewing our clothes and building our mobile phones. # something to think about.
Wow.
Yeah, I think about it. You're nuts. You're crazy. Crazy lady.
What sweets you eating?
I don't know, guys. Listen, you've been very patient the last couple of weeks listening to this. I think the show's been really patchy. We've had some great bits and pieces. I'll take that. Yes, line one, go on.
Hi, it's Dave in Manchester.
Hello, Dave.
I'd just like to... Hello?
Hello, Dave.
Hello to both of you. Just like to share something that's tickled me today. There's a bunch of, well, what I'd call right-wing cranks have had a sort of conference a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
You'll know some of them, but not others.
Yeah.
And afterwards, there's 8 of them in total, and they went out for a dinner. And these are the sort of people that would go bananas if, if a school has a sports day and all the kids get a prize.
Yeah.
And they've had.
And they're right. That's exactly the kind of stuff we should be angry about at school sports days.
Exactly, and they've had their own awards ceremony at this dinner where every single one of them got a prize.
Oh, isn't that nice?
For example, Katie Hopkins was there.
Oh.
She got Journalist of the Year.
Yes. Oh. What?
Who else?
Journalist? What? It's tweeting's journalism now, is it? Flipping it.
Well, apparently Tommy Robinson's a journalist as well.
That's enough of those. That we don't like bad language. I'll let you get away with one, but not 2. Thank you very much. Let's go to line 2. 2, you're on the wireless.
Oh, here it is, Andre. No singing tonight. Instead, I've got the lippy on, and I'm going to blow you kisses.
I'm glad that sentence carried on.
Yes.
I'm glad there was an extra word at the end of that sentence, because I thought we were in trouble here. You blow me kisses. Hello, line 3, you're on the wireless.
Hi, are your phones working properly now?
Can you hear us?
Well, I can, but Ian's been saying nothing's working and nobody can phone in or something. I mean, just flicked on actually, so...
You're on. I can't. It's 10 minutes to 1 on a Friday night. You're on the air now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you're talking to me and Kath, and the phones have been just a bit tonight. They've been a bit patchy, so some people called in and then didn't get a call back and probably thought we were shunning them, and then we were doing straight to air, and I was putting people through and they weren't connecting, so they're hit and miss.
Well, hello to both of you. That's cool.
Well, hello to you.
Hello. I really missed you. I haven't been on for ages. I haven't been very well, but the last time I clicked on, there was something taking over your show. You'd taken a day off or whatever, and then it all went a bit higgledy-piggledy, and they were ringing out for McDonald's and stuff.
Who was that?
And I can't remember his name. It was all a bit mad.
That wasn't last week, was it?
It was, yeah. That was the last one.
Oh, it was either Christo or Jamie then.
Smells like Jamie now, doesn't
Jamie
it?
kind of nonsense he pulled.
No, it wasn't Christo. He did a really good job. He had Ken ringing in, Ken, the Bible man.
Yeah. Ken's not banned from this show. Ken doesn't call me because I call him out for what he is. Dangerous,
I think Christo let him have it as well.
Yeah, exactly. And boy, Ken would certainly not like to take it from Christo, if you catch my drift. 312. But just that number pops into my head for no reason whatsoever. Sorry, Julie. Sorry.
I thought I'd ring you about a little topic. I didn't know what the thread was this evening.
The thread is disappointing.
Off the show, because you had people ringing up saying, green, red and orange is the new black and all. And I thought, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after the break, and he came back, and it's all back to normal with you two. Lovely.
Thanks very much. Oh, no, you're going to say something. Okay, I don't know if it is back to normal. It's back to normal in that we've got weird phone calls that I struggle to follow. Yes.
Well, I hope you don't deem me as one of them. But I thought I'd think about minor annoyances.
Yeah.
And, people who make judgments without being in full possession of the facts.
Yes, that's what's called humans. That's what humans do.
Oh, well, I witnessed something this week. I was with an acquaintance from work.
Yeah.
And I went into a well-known shoe shop where I live.
Clark's.
Oh, no, it's another one. I don't like to say, but anyway, we went in and there was a lady...
JB Sports.
Dulces.
No.
Was it Dulces?
No.
Okay, all right.
Was it shoe?
No.
I refuse to go into that place. You do not spell shoe. You don't spell shoe. You don't spell it like that. You spell it properly.
You mentioned The Office.
No.
Oh, that's a shoe shop.
It wasn't.
The Office. Is it Office?
Sorry?
Is it Office?
No. I don't want to say...
Thank you, Martin. I appreciate the input. Martin is Killer Kellner. Right, go on. Tell us a story!
Okay. We went in there and there was a lady all suited and booted, very posh looking, very professional looking at the desk.
Yes.
And the desk came up about chest height, and when we got to her, she didn't look up. She could obviously sense that we were stood there. I was looking at a pair of shoes in the window and I thought, I wonder if they got them. I don't know the shop, but I'll go in.
Yes.
Anyway, we waited a couple of minutes and everything. She seemed to be busy under the counter.
Oh.
So we waited, and then she looked up, and I said, hi, the shoes in the window, yeah, they are. Could you let me know if you got them in a size 5? So she said, if they're not out, we haven't got them. So I said, oh, okay. Well, could you show me where they would be out? Because I don't know, you sure?
Yes.
So she went, like that. Anyway, what was happening was she was filing the nails under the desk. And we've gone and bothered her.
She was filing her nails, and there could have been kiddies in that shop, and that would have encouraged them to become nail filers. That is disgusting!
No, but it got worse. Anyway, so I said, well, could you show me where they would be out, and then I'll have a look. Anyway, she huffed and puffed and blew the house down, and then she took me round and said, so these shoes that I was looking for... I
feel like I'm living this, not in real time, but at half speed, yes? We finish in like 2 minutes, you know that, yeah?
No. Do you want me to carry on or shall I shut up?
Well, can you do it in 2 minutes?
Well, I could do if you stop interrupting.
Oh! Feel the burn! Go on then, right, go on then. Do it.
Okay, so anyway, she showed me where the shoes would be, and she said they're up there, and it was like ladder height, so I thought, oh, well, leave it. So my friend, I wasn't impressed, but my friend was like, oh, well, anyway. Then we went around the corner into a vape shop where there was a young man there with loads of tattoos, earrings, piercings, big long beard, everything. And this
was it Skechers?
Going in there. No, you're just ruining it. You know.
I'm not ruining it. Your story's ruining it. Was he doing his nails in the vape shop?
This is a cool story, but you're not listening.
I'm listening! The thing is, I'm listening, but it's gone on for 5 minutes and we've got nowhere, and the show's about to end and Martin Kellner's going to do his.
Well, it's going to end because you keep gabbing on.
Just quickly jump to the end!
Give us the punchline.
The punchline is, the guy in the vape shop had lots of tattoos, piercings, everything. He was the most beautiful customer services person ever met.
Why wouldn't he be?
Lady, Annabelle. It was just great. He showed us everything, helped us really, really well.
I just lost the will to live. I'm so sorry, Martin. I'm sorry you had to hear that. That was awful.
I think it's a moral about, posh shops, not necessarily best attitude. Anyway.
We made it. Looks like we made it once
You
again.
made it. Yeah, well done. Whole
Hello,
week.
Martin. What have you got? Oh,
yeah, that's what I've got.
Look at that. The Crankies Fandabby-Dozy. I would have thought it was one word, but they've spelt Fandabby-Dozy as 3 words.
Yeah, more or less 3 words there.
More or less.
Their amazing true story.
With a foreword by Max Bygraves.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And I did promise last week that I would serialise it.
Yeah.
So this is a book at bedtime.
Beautiful.
We're doing the true story of the Crankies. And believe me, it's a true story.
Has it got all of the stories in there?
Not all of them, because
There we
everybody
go.
I know who's worked in showbiz in the 80s or 90s has a Crankies story. And they usually all end the same, yes. And they usually all
Yeah, I've got
end.
someone who worked with them in Panto. Opened a door. Oh!
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
There's a lot of that.
Come and join us.
Indeed. It's
Okay.
exactly it. So we're going to find some of the best bits.
Lovely, thank you. You don't need to count me down, for God's sakes. I've been doing this, counting me down! I've been doing this for 20 years. Never in my life have I needed to be counted down. I know when to end.
5.
Now go!
4.
Go! We're finished. You're late now.